So hello everyone, welcome to our pod. So today our pod is recognize your power. How to recognize your power? So firstly we'll start with now. So sure, how to recognize your power? How can we establish or know your inner power, and how can we use it in our future references and in our daily life?
First of all, welcome everyone. And today the topic is all taken by the Abhinav, and I really thank him because this topic is not constricted to one particular time or one particular aspect of your life. This topic in itself is very diverse and which will be prolonged till your last breath. Because power in itself is not constituent of time or your traits or your upbringing. Power is the incremental process with time, with adaptation, with learning, and with self-development. That is what power in itself can be, and there is no upper limit for defining your power, to define your potential, and to inculcate the traits which great emperors had and how they used to be the conquerors of the world. And that's what true power is. And true power comes from first conquering yourself and then conquering the territories which are beside you, and then slaying the demons which are inside your territories. Like just Genghis Khan took the territories of the outer individuals who were beside the China, and he just slayed the king. And for me, prior to the broader discussion over this topic, for me first the greater importance is the definition of power. What power should be, what power is, and the one quote which is very famous, and it is a fact which can not be questioned, that power corrupts. Power in itself gives you the authorization or the paradigm where you can order, where you can influence, where you can put the things as you like. But the way you like the things, is that fruitful to the world or fruitful for the people beside? Because there will be power in being the devil and being the Satan or being the God.
Yeah.
So you have to choose who you want to be, and that's what power can bring on the table. But what actual power is? For me, actual power is development of oneself in a particular way which is not cataclysmic to the society or not catastrophic to the individuals around, but rather uplifting and bringing out the good in people. Even if we talk about the great leaders or the great emperors, they were great because their power built the society. Their powers did not brought down or did not brought the evil in people, but their powers were what brought the good in people. What helped to manifest even the good in Satan. Even Satan was Satan's mindset, or even the Satan's hierarchies of his thought was deteriorated by the traits or by the power or by the vibrations a person inflict in the other person. That's what true power is. Otherwise power can be in any realm, like money or influence or your vocal tonality, your being very articulate or influencing others.
Yeah.
That can be also power, but power in itself, what it is. The great power in itself is influence.
And for me, the topic, as Abhinav said, recognize your power. Why was the need for this topic? I would like to shed some light on that. In this world where now we are in constant comparison, not with our peers only, but with the people throughout the world. To put it in a simple terms, in the old ages, a 20-year-old will not know what a 20-year-old in the other part of country is doing. And he will live his life according to the society he is in and the environment he is facing, and he will be somewhere around the same age group, and what they are doing, he will be doing same kind of stuff, or not comparing, because there will be not much difference. But as of now, let's say I'm 26 and there will be a millionaire out there in other part of country or at some other part of globe. He is just making millions, billions. that constant comparison put our presence and our powers to caution, and we caution it ourselves. We take some kind of pressure in our mind that what significance I hold in this world now, because that guy is belonging to the same age group, he is doing something legendary, but I am even, and me belonging to the same group is achieving nothing. Although if I look only in my near perspective, it's all right, but in this world of constant comparison, our comparison has become grown so much bigger than they used to be. So that's why we took the topic, recognize your power. The power here means recognize your presence and what value you hold in other people's life, or the value you hold in this world. No life is worthless rather than the other one. Every life has its own meaning, but it is as simple as that. We have just started comparing with the other persons. Maybe you are looking out for a partner, but your peers are already getting married and having children. Maybe you are looking out to work a job, but your peers are having a job, or someone is making millions. That will put you into total distress. That what the heck I am even doing with my life, and what the meaning of my life is. And some people go downhill after taking this approach, and they forget the meaning of their life and the power and the value they hold. अब टॉपिक पे आते हैं recognize your power पे. Recognize power क्यों करनी है? Because as I told you कि comparison ऐसे बड़ा हो गया है, but acknowledge करते हुए उसे we should I say we should avoid that, or we should ignore that perspective, because sometimes ignorance is bliss. And बस ये content consume करने से nothing, उनको कोई बुरा, उनके साथ कुछ बुरा नहीं हो रहा है. The bad things are happening with you, your mindset and your goals. तुम डिग्रेड कर रहे हो अपनी वैल्यू डे बाय डे, ये चीज देखते. अब रिकॉग्नाइज पावर करनी है, सो यू wherever you stand at right now, the level of intellect you have, the level of wisdom you have, you evaluate that. You recognize what you can contribute to the society, to your family, or whatever goals you have in mind, what you are contributing to them at this present level. Then this is the time you decide where you want to be in the future. Do you have somewhere to be? Recognize that, consider that, and then take action in accordance to that. And even if you hold very less significance in someone's life, but you still hold significance, and your life can impact even the other's life near you. Even if you are not achieving much, you are staying happy, people will mirror the effect of your happiness, because our brains are designed in that way that they mirror stuff. But let's say if you are just a blissful person, you will bring bliss to the society or to your peers, to your peers. And the same goes with your presence. Everywhere you go, the aura you instill in people will be resonated. But that also depends on the power you hold. And I think that's
if the paradigm of your power, your aura is way beyond the power of, let's say, Abhinav or mine, then only you can inflict and then only you can influence. If your power is way more than the individual you are influencing, then only that person will adapt, take your power and raise his power a bit.
Basically, you want to
maybe
say,
you are right, but now I would like to concur that. Let's say you are
Recently you told me,
yeah,
like,
this is a mirroring effect.
these
right?
are your words, like mirroring effect.
Mirroring effect.
You see a person on the top,
Definitely.
you want to be there,
Yeah.
you adapt,
You
start
mirror.
adapting his or her traits,
Mhm.
and that's what mirroring is.
Yeah. I agree with that. I totally stand on my words. But let's say the same mirroring concept, but you are hanging out with people who are on lower power level than you.
Indeed.
The traits will be interchanged.
Indeed.
Like just happened with friend, you adapt their habits and they will adapt yours. Maybe you are at a higher power level and you will gift them with blissful habits or something productive habits. But in return, you will gain some habits that will be deteriorating or detrimental to your lifestyle.
Indeed.
Let's say I
I'm
have
equally at concordant with it. Because there is a quote and fact that you are the subtotal of the five individuals you surround yourself. Even the Stoics refer it at that 2000 years ago,
Yeah.
where when there were all peasants and the classes were differentiated. Yeah, I do agree with it, but there comes the power.
Definitely.
There also comes the power of of your aura,
Yeah.
how influential you are.
And
Because you have also seen that
Mhm.
people beside you get influenced by your actions, your thoughts, your seeing the perspective, taking a back step, seeing the greater horizon, and then contemplating the things, and then giving out the most powerful advice or most powerful stepping stone, manifesting a very powerful stepping stone that can lead you to the other level of life.
Mhm.
That is what power is. And there also comes the power of consuming content. Content not in books, not in form of podcast, or not in any other, but the content which you engrain yourself and the thought process your mind is driven to. Indeed, if there are 50 individuals and five are just like the crab mentality pulling you back,
Yeah.
but you have the 45 in your 45 of the individuals in your arsenal who are just pushing you. Their 5 effect will be like if those
that will be so minute as
yeah,
compared to the
so
45.
minute, but there it will be.
But nowadays the scenario is the inverse.
Yeah, there are 45 individuals who will push you back, and there will only be 5 individuals who will help you out to
Yeah.
grow. And there comes even a greater power to create boundaries and set those 45 individuals apart and take that only the power of the 5 individuals who will help you to grow.
Yeah. And this reminded me of my memory that I had from my school. The concept of mirroring is there, and I still stand on it. But at that time, I implemented something like callous mind type of thing, or I was consciously aware that I should not replicate the habit of the person I'm surrounding myself with. I was around, I think, in 10th or something. So my parents didn't like my friends because I was a high achiever. If your high achiever is the guy who gets good percentage, I was a high achiever. Okay, so my parents were like, your friends are not doing that well in their academics. Why you are surrounding yourself with them? You will become like them. But there was this thing. I said, I am me. I will do myself. I will maintain my grades as such. They're the level they're on, and they will not affect. I will choose who will be my friend, and it doesn't matter if they are academically good or not. At that time, their influence, their academic influence, the perspective of their academics, and all over their behavior and their mindset didn't affect me. I was so consciously aware about it. I was just consciously reminding myself, they are my friend. I am enjoying time with them.
That was your power.
Yeah. That is something. Yeah. That is the reversal of the mirroring. The mirroring is there. We mostly do it unconsciously. But once you are aware of the surroundings, or you are aware of the bad habits of your friends, as I
And
said,
wise enough.
yeah, and wise enough to not act on it, you will get away well. You will promote yourself, but you can
Regardless.
maintain those friends. But after some time, that will become tiring because those crabs will be trying to pull you again and again. You will be picking yourself up again and again, and that there will be constant struggle. So you have to cut their hands.
Yeah.
It's as simple as that. Cut their hands, set yourself free, never look back.
Even I would love to add here one example. 2 to 3 days ago, there is a friend of mine from my 6th standard. He called me and I was not able to attend him, so I went to his store and he was sitting there peacefully. And I went to him because I said, why not meet up? So I was just sitting there beside him and he was just talking shit. Means it was like that was nothing fruitful, nothing uplifting, and nothing in regard to my goals, nothing in regard to my parts which I want to establish. I sat there for 10 minutes just for the sake of friendship. 15 minutes there, I am leaving. He said, sit here for 5 minutes more. He was just talking random shit. And like now we have given the order of memento mori coins. So now I am living with that code continuously in my mind. The concept of memento mori is like now stamped in my head. I was sitting there and I was like, if this is my last day, I don't want to do this. I don't want this energy in my life, this aura in my life. And after 5 minutes I left. And when I left, I was like, you are wasting your life. I don't want the same. I sat there just for the sake of friendship. In future, I will do consider to sit with you, but not more than 10 minutes. I will just ask, are you doing well? Do you need any help? If there will be any help in my power, I will bring it on the table, and I will always be there for you, because as you are my friend, I know you cannot be me, I cannot be you, and that is also power, to understand that you are you and I am who I am, and I am very peaceful at that. I don't want you to change for me, or I don't want myself to change for you. That is also power of acceptance.
Yeah, recognizing that
Yeah.
they are not on the same journey.
Yeah.
That you
You
are.
will be somewhere else, I want to be somewhere else. Your happiness can be manifested at this certain level, but I want to be here. So I have to cut off the ties.
Is that because of the comparison that I talked about earlier?
Indeed, there is comparison, because now I am reading the emperors. I have to compare myself to be that person.
So kids, sometimes comparison may promote you to be a better person and maybe a phenomenal person even more. But if it starts deteriorating, let's say now he's reading kings and emperors, and he want to be like them. He's taking constant action and conscious action in that direction and making progress. Let's say small wins every day will give him a big win or overnight success after some years.
For people,
But
it will be overnight success.
There will be some people who will be reading it, who want to be it, but will not take any action, and will just dream that someday some magic will happen, some miracle will happen, and they will be it. They will be it. They won't be, and they, in the end, what they are left with is stress and the bad habits to cope up with the stress that is coming from the imaginary the image they set for themselves. They will try to cope up with some kind of drug or something, or some other kind of addiction. Let's say watching anime continuously for throughout the day, 24 hours, or smoking cigarettes, or maybe or maybe living in an imaginary life, or like the random people walking on the street talking to themselves, and even they will say hello to you, but they are mad. So it's a good thing. Comparison in a healthy way is a good thing, but if you cannot compete at that level, and if you know your competence, we all know our potential. There is a gauge that you have tried. If you haven't, you should. There is a gauge, there is a personal gauge that you know I can do this, I can do that, and there is some possibility of improvement, and you also know that one too. But even after acknowledging all those things, you are just constantly comparing and not doing shit. I suggest ignorance is a bliss for you. You should just ignore and live your life like a lamb and get slaughtered in the end. That's it.
And there will be people enjoying you, because this world is just scavenging help. The people will rip your bones apart and not even let you know. And when you will know it, and you will be like, now I don't exist.
Yeah.
You will wake up in hell.
And this also reminds me of a story. There was a crow sitting on the back of the lamb. The lamb tried to shoot him away and ran here and there throughout the day. And the lamb, after it got exhausted, it said, can you do this to a lion? The crow said, I am wise enough to bully the weak, but I am also wise enough to please the strong. So choose wisely. This, I am talking about your mind. The crow is your mind. You should please the strong and also bully the weak.
Yeah.
That is a necessary evil you need in this world. And now over to Abhinav, who chose this topic.
So, what is recognize your power basically? But before talking on this topic, I'll go on your point basically. Comparison. In today's life, comparison kills most of the people. आज के टाइम में हो क्या रहा है कंपैरिजन में कि अगर हम अपने पुराने टाइम की बात करें, when we are in schools, हमारे पेरेंट्स कंपेयर करते हैं जिनके
शर्मा जी का लड़का
हाँ,
शर्मा जी की लौंडी,
हाँ, गुप्ता जी का लौंडा, भाई उसके इतने मार्क्स आ रहे हैं, उसके ये आ रहा है, तेरे क्यों नहीं हो रहा? फिर ये स्कूल कंपैरिजन छोड़ो, अपने रिलेटिव्स के साथ कंपेयर होता है कि वो ऐसा कर रहा है, why he is achieving this thing, he is achieving this thing, he became government officer, तुझे क्या है? वो कर सकता है तो तू भी कर सकता है. He is in Google, she is in Google, why you are at this lowest company or something. आज के टाइम में क्या कंपैरिजन एक ऐसी डूम चीज हो चुकी है कि नॉट अ क्रैब मेंटालिटी बट डेफिनेटली पुल्स यू डाउन एंड kills your thoughts, kills your motivation, kills your dreams.
But deep down, as a man, the world is hyper competitive.
Yeah, but I
You have
know
to be
that
competent
enough, but
in
there
every-
are not everyone
But let's
has
say,
that strong
let me-
mindset.
yeah, let me answer now.
Not everyone has a strong mindset like us.
Let me answer now.
एक one second, मेरे को बात
Okay, okay.
सबके पास स्ट्रॉन्ग माइंडसेट नहीं है हमारी तरह, या जरूरी नहीं है कि सबके स्ट्रॉन्ग माइंडसेट हो कि हाँ ठीक है, अगर वी आर पुल्ड तो वी कैन गेन दैट लेवल अगेन. कईयों को अगर वो नीचे खींचोगे ना, वो नीचे ही गिरेंगे, वो उठेंगे नहीं, वो कहेंगे यार लग गया, अब छोड़ो, ठीक है. बट देयर आर सम पीपल, दे आर लाइक ओके, इफ आई गेट दिस फॉल, आई नो अगर एक स्टेप बैक लिया तो आई नो 3 स्टेप्स में आगे भी ले सकता हूँ. आई नो व्हाट टू जंप और व्हाट टू थिंक. नाउ प्लीज.
Yeah. As you said,
I would
we should
give your
compare.
thought.
Yeah, that is a correct thing. It is a hyper competitive world for a man. But will you compare an amateur boxer to a pro?
No.
So they
I will
have to
take-
work for it, right? They will
I will take
go
that
step
person
by
as an
step.
ideal.
Yeah, that is ideal. Until unless you are that level that you will be able to
Then the time
evaluate
will
their
come.
moves.
Then the
But
time will come.
if
when we
you
have to do
don't
that.
know the B of the boxing,
Yeah.
and just started comparing yourself with the pro,
Hmm.
like Mike Tyson moved this way,
Yeah.
like he punched so hard, I want to be the same.
Hmm.
Oh shit, my punch is not that
Hmm.
hard, or
Mhm.
you will be the champion.
Indeed.
So comparison is a good thing, but I say it should be level by level. If you are at the first page of your life and you are comparing it with the 100th page of somebody else's life, that will put you in such a stress and such a negative place it is to be.
But
There are few people who evolve from it, but not
Not
in this-
everyone evolves from
yeah.
that part.
But there comes the paradigm of taking that inspiration
Hmm.
from the person who is at the 100th page of his life. But for that inspiration, there has to be comparison. There has to be competitiveness. There has to be that if he is at that level, how? And even I want to achieve the same. How he did it, how he manifested that, how he took that, how he took on the suffering, and take that individual as a inspiration after comparison. If comparison with oneself, if today I am at the first or even the 0.5 of the page of my life, then the comparison taken in regard to the self ameliorating aspect of oneself is inspiration.
But the comparison is the last thing I'll say. The
Yeah.
comparison is the last thing. If you say there is a pro or somebody,
Yeah.
your idol,
Hmm.
you get inspired, motivated, you find your purpose
Yeah.
from them.
But you never compete.
Yeah.
You
You
respect
compete.
them.
You do compete. There is a swimmer who was in the teenagers when he met his idol, and he said he wanted to compete with him, but as like he made it to the pro and he defeated his idol. But in the initial stage, it is motivation, inspiration, and you can see the regime. You can even take a goal from them. But the comparison with them, it's just like I'm comparing myself to Elon Musk lifestyle. Or Elon Musk, he is achieving, I'm not achieving. That is not a wise thing. I may get inspired from it in the beginning.
I am not considering the competition or the competing aspect which is self-deteriorating.
Comparison. Basically, we are talking about
comparison, competing, everything
Yeah.
comes in because comparison in itself. Why there is a need to compare? There is a need of compare to compete.
Hmm.
Without competition, there is no comparison.
But that is after some preparation.
Yeah,
That comes
yeah.
after some preparation.
Yeah,
if you are not having any weapons in the arsenal or you are
Then how we can go to war?
Yeah.
But I am not considering here that deteriorating aspect. I am considering here the uplifting.
I know what you mean.
Like if
But
any other country has a nuclear weapon,
Hmm.
we need it too.
Basically, it depends on your perception, how you take things.
And there comes the concept of that
Yeah.
there is no peace without war.
Yeah.
If there will be a threat of war and the threat that war will lead to a hopeless end, there will be hope in that hopeless end, so that hope can be manifested, so that the life can thrive.
But you also need to harbor a great mind too. Let's say if you are comparing yourself to a pro,
There
or
comes the power.
there comes the power of harboring your mental aspect and that
And
harboring that
developing your
stress.
mind.
Yeah. But I don't think many people can do that.
That-
Not everybody is David
That's
Goggins.
that's what being in top 1% is.
Yeah. But for now we are just talking about the average, the mediocre.
Average.
Then let me come to a basic
Yeah,
level.
take it a notch down.
I was just in that.
That is a good thing. People do it, and there are people you will meet in your life that have done the same shit.
but only the 1% or I'll say 0.01% people will be there who will compare themselves to a pro or an idol constantly and still come out winning. Most of you or most of the people here or the watching one will not be able to do it. That takes a great mindset and a great capability to handle the stress and all the discipline and the pain that comes with it. Not everyone can manage it.
Even you can share mine example by your words. Like remember when we used to go to boxing academy,
Yeah.
and there I started copying Muhammad Ali's footwork and Muhammad Ali's move. I saw his 5 to 6, 7 fights, and I just started inculcating that.
That gave you a purpose.
Yeah.
Who you wanted to be. That gave you your idol. That provided you with motivation.
Yeah.
You knew the path
My
is gone.
footwork just changed,
Yeah.
and everyone was there like,
the technique hook changed.
from where he is bringing that on the table.
Yeah, definitely.
Even the
But
fight
at that time, you cannot like compare your potential to Muhammad Ali's.
I was never comparing.
That is the thing I'm talking about. That comparison will come when you will be at that level.
But then also comparison will not come, because I want to be that person who will be very humble and powerful enough to respect that idol
Yeah.
and praise him for his divinity.
Definitely, that guy is a legend. Huge respect for him. But
Even,
yeah,
even Marcus Aurelius or whosoever
Sure.
have lived.
Yeah.
If you want to be powerful, in power there comes a sense of humbleness and sense of humility.
yeah,
That now I am at that. I know what it took for them and what it took for me and what it will take for me to be there.
yeah.
And there comes the peace, because you have faced the war. You have seen that hopelessness. You have seen that dark nights where only the pole stars, your inspiration shines.
Shine. Definitely.
And you compared yourself, you want to shine like that. There will be black holes who will take your bright light, who will never let you. Their gravitational pull will be so hard that even your light will not be able to escape that. But when the supernova strikes, then what? The black holes will deteriorate.
Yeah.
They will be into shambles. We will be into the rising stars. But there comes the power.
To be like the sun,
You have to burn like that. That what I talked about, that the burning sun will always be humble.
Yeah,
Because
Then no struggle.
deep down they know what is burning inside.
definitely.
What that nuclear fusion and fusion is going on deep inside to shine so bright and spit out the life force.
Yeah,
There is power.
there is.
And even when you will burn yourself from within, there will come a dark phase. Because the sun in itself will face a dark phase. When the dark phase, after the dark phase, there will be a phase again when you will shine more brightly. Because in physics, as I am now taking it in the realm of that psychology, not psychology, philosophy.
Okay.
All kings are philosophers. I am implementing that. Even in the life, we can say now the hydrogen in itself, which is present in sun, it is going under nuclear fusion, and it is producing helium. Okay, when the fuel will finish, there will be helium, and helium will go under. It will be the phase of darkness. When the helium will go under again nuclear fission, it will manifest into carbon. When the helium will go under nuclear fission, it will shine more brightly. There comes the dark phase, and there comes the phase when you will shine even brighter.
But for that, you should start first.
Yeah, for that starting and the power in
Yeah.
itself to manifest that fuel. And there comes that I am now here I am talking about the aspect of psychology in realm of how you should take the things. Because the power in itself starts with the thought. Without thought, there cannot be power. Because thought can burn deep down to manifest that hydrogen atoms.
Yeah, and even to discover that, you have to
Go into
widen
that.
your view. You have to be observant enough of the environment or the astronomy that you acknowledge that there is something going on in the sun. But if you are having a narrow view and only can see the moon or the darkness, there will be no light in your life.
The moon in itself gets its significance
Significance for the sun.
and gets into existence because the sun is present. If there is no sunlight, does moon exist? Does for the experiencer the moon exist? Because you will never be able to see the moon. it will be existing in, but it will be in the darkness. But the sun in itself give the significance for it, because if the experience is not having vision, if the person is blind, does the moon exist? No. Does he know what the moon is? At the conceptual level he will know, but deep down does he has seen it? So moon, to get its significance, it needs the light of the sun. There comes the power of moon. The power of moon is reflection mirroring effect.
Great. Yeah.
So coming back to the topic, recognize your power. Okay, we have done enough of
Recognize that you want to be a moon or sun.
Yeah. So
Being
I was
moon
talking-
being moon is also good. There will be 8 moons. There will be 10 moons. Like Jupiter has 8 moons. 8 moons, right? Mars has 2 moons. You can see that you want to be moon, or you want to be sun, or you want to be planet. Choose wisely.
So I was talking about comparison. So recognize your power has basically 3 things. How to get that: perception, action, and will. So firstly, I'll talk about perception. What actual perception is, I'll talk with an example. So it is a general experiment that was done in the public. There's a whiteboard and a person has marked with a simple small dot with a black marker. The random people will say, what according to you, if I have a whiteboard and I have marked on a black dot, तो क्या देखेगा तुम? What will you note in that part?
People will see the black part.
People will only see that black part.
Dot.
That's the dot. Like whiteboard पे एक छोटा सा black dot है. उनका ध्यान उसी पे जाएगा. उनका वो ध्यान नहीं जाएगा कि there's a lot of space in the white. इतना ज़्यादा white है. उनको एक दिखेगी छोटी सी चीज़. That's the problem.
There also comes the concept of evolution, how we have evolved.
Evolve basically वही है evolution. अब लोगों का perception ही वही बन चुका है कि भाई उनको पूरी चीज़ नहीं दिख रही, उनको खाली चीज़ नहीं दिख रही, उनको दिख रहा है कि छोटा सा दाग. ठीक है, तो लोगों का perception इतना ज़्यादा चेंज हो गया हुआ है. One of the most सबसे smallest reason क्या है? Comparison. लोगों को comparison करने की और खुद को दूसरों के साथ compare करने की इतनी आदत. I'm not talking about amateur and pro. I'm talking about the basic. अब हम दोनों एक सेम एज ग्रुप के हैं, ठीक है. अब लोग क्या करेंगे, इफ यू आर अचीविंग समथिंग वेरी बिग, तेरे कुछ अलग गोल्स है, मेरे कुछ अलग गोल्स है. व्हाट इफ आई हैव नो गोल्स एंड यू हैव ग्रेट गोल्स एंड तू किसी एक लेवल पे पहुंच गया. मैं कंपेयर करूंगा खुद को, मैं बोलूंगा कि आई वांट टू बी देयर, मैं ये क्या है, सेम एज है, सब कुछ सेम है. तो व्हाट इज द लाइफ, मेरी लाइफ है क्या, मेरा गोल क्या लाइफ का, मेरा पर्पस क्या लाइफ का. लोग क्या करेंगे, वो उसी डीप डाउन में खुद को एक शैलो लाइफ में डाल लेंगे, काम नहीं करेंगे, बस सोचेंगे कि आई वांट टू बी एट दैट लेवल. दिस इज व्हाट परसेप्शन, नेगेटिव पार्ट ऑफ परसेप्शन. पॉजिटिव में क्या होएगा कि आई विल गेन नॉलेज फ्रॉम यू, आई विल गेन ऑल द थिंग्स यू हैव.
You will have my action plan.
Yeah, you have all the things you have in your bucket. I'll get that, I'll try to get that, I will try to implement on that part. And maybe I will not at that level, at your level, maybe I'll gain some level, and after some time I can surpass your level. ये perception है. अब action क्या है? ये चीज़ों को implement करना अपनी life में. अब लोग क्या करेंगे? You have told me earlier that one of your friend had constantly blaming himself for his life. But तूने उसको बताया कि हाँ this ऐसे तू अपनी लाइफ चेंज कर सकता है. बट व्हाट वाज हिज रिएक्शन? यार मुझे करना है, बट वो इम्प्लीमेंट कर रहा है अपनी लाइफ में नहीं. नो वन डज. एंड अगर हम उसको इन फ्यूचर में देखें, लाइक आज तूने किसी चीज को, किसी पर्सन को समझाया एंड यू आर सीइंग हिम आफ्टर अ लॉन्ग पीरियड ऑफ टाइम, लाइक लेट अस सपोज आफ्टर अ ईयर, तेरे को ऑन द स्पॉट चेंज पता लग जाएगा कि हाँ डज ही इम्प्लीमेंट दैट और नॉट. एंड मोस्ट ऑफ द चांसेस में क्या होगा, he does not implemented it. He'll be in a shallow phase.
Because it take courage.
It take courage. It take action basically.
And power.
Action, power, courage. All first thing is he needs that and action to do that. He needs that enough courage to do that. But उसको क्या होएगा भाई, comparison. फिर comparison यहाँ पे मारेगा. Third है will. अब इतना सारा कुछ हो गया. अब सबसे बड़ी बात है will. Will basically वही अपनी power ही है. You want to
That thought that will deep
Yeah,
down
yeah.
burn and manifest as
Exactly.
hydrogen atoms.
Items क्या है मतलब तुम्हें एक गिलास भी पीना है, take willpower to just
Yeah.
grab this and drink water.
अब वो ऐसे तो बोल नहीं सकते भाई आजा. Simple. So recognize and power had these three components: perception, action and will. And most of the time आजकल के अगर current scenarios में देखे जाएं तो most of the people has a negative perception. 70 to 80% have a negative perception, has a crab mentality. If you are going up, they'll push you down. They'll push you down every time you go up. And similarly with action and will. Some will do the action, either it's negative or positive, even they don't know. And willpower is, they show their great willpower in negative thing, but not in the positive part.
But here comes that everything is just a perspective and opinion.
Perspective and opinion.
It's
But-
easy to criticize rather than to put effort. And जैसे willpower की बात करा, as I talked about, if you have bad friends and they are constantly snatching or जैसे the थोड़ी willpower तुम्हारी तोड़ते जा रहे हैं bit by bit. Every time you say something, every time you promote something good, they are just shaving off your willpower day by day. You will be at their level. You will not elevate yourself. You will even downgrade yourself.
Exactly. So it's on your hand कि तुम्हें कहाँ पे रहना, कौन से लेवल पे रहना, तुम्हें अपनी जो पावर है वो रिकॉग्नाइज करके तुम्हें ग्रेटर गुड
How
पे
we can
जाना.
develop that power? How we can develop that power? Here comes the question.
Working on yourself. If
Working
you
on yourself, how?
अब let's पहले उसको initial कर ले, फिर we'll talk about it.
Can you please
Can you
give
grab
me
my
my
phone?
phone? Mine too. Mine too.
कटा देना वही.
Okay, you agree?
Thank you, sir, for the charge.
Yes. Please continue.
So, as you said, how to implement that, how to recognize that power. So, according to me, what is like as Shubham said, take baby steps. Like if we have a क्या कहते हैं उसको, अगर हमारा कोई है गोल है,
What?
हम किसी को अगर हम परस्यू कर रहे हैं, लाइक वी आर लेट अस सपोज आई एम परस्यूइंग जॉर्डन डी पीटरसन, और किसी एक ऐसा विच इज अ प्रो, हम उसके लाइफ को हम चाहते हैं कि वी वांट टू बी दैट लेवल. फर्स्टली वी हैव टू टेक दैट बेबी स्टेप्स, स्टार्टिंग डेवलपिंग योर माइंड एंड बी स्ट्रिक्ट, बी डिसिप्लिन्ड इनफ. लाइक हमें पता है कि क्या गलत है क्या सही है.
But deep down, what takes to manifest that discipline?
Now I would like to add on. Recognize your power is our topic, right? So recognize your power is को एक चीज हम भूल गए इस चीज में, your uniqueness. There is a potential that you are born with, and there is a innate nature of yours that will let you do things in a different way rather than the masses. Let's take simple example, like Abhinav अगर photo खींच रहा है, he will do it with his perspective. If I am making an art, I will have my own art style, or even the art styles that are being followed were started by someone who felt कि this is usual, but I think I can do art in this way.
With regard to his intellect.
Yeah, and that was their uniqueness. That was their power. They recognized their power that I am unique in this. And same can go for like the KFC that people enjoy. That guy realized his power in 60s. He was around 60s, right?
Yeah.
When he first made the chicken or his product, he realized that he can do this in this way, the certain way. He can make chicken, and after that there came profit or whatever. That doesn't matter. The matter is uniqueness.
But the days of darkness were there where he used to give his friends chicken for free in the evening.
Yeah, but that is I will come on to that too. But that is like the initial step of realizing your uniqueness. Uniqueness. So let's say someone want to be a musician, someone want to sing, someone want to do any other thing. Let's say there are some things that are not discovered, but some people feel they have good intellect for it. There will be a baby step. You cannot be Picasso in your first painting. You cannot build a KFC on your first chicken or
Ever
whatever
writing
dish.
a code takes 4
Yeah.
boards to manifest one.
Yeah, indeed. It will take a writing of 2-3 pages, and you will conclude one
One
quote out
code
of it.
of 2 lines, just 2 lines.
Yeah, that takes effort, but all of that comes at a later stage when you first acknowledge that okay, my potential or my biological potential is giving me this. That is up to you to recognize it, to put in value in it or not. Maybe तुम्हारी uniqueness is like you are very good at cooking, but you don't want to acknowledge it, you don't want to do anything with it. That's all right, but that is kind of your uniqueness. If you are not recognizing that, but you have something else to do, you can create a unique thing. Even अब जैसे Instagram पे तुम check कर लो, कोई भी page खोल लो, everybody is doing the same thing but in another way. Even the weightlifting videos are taken by different angles. But for the girls, it's the same, just a booty pic. As for the guys, it's a different thing. Somebody is using anime, somebody is using powerlift, somebody is adding martial arts in it, or there is a different ways to create video.
Someone is posting on daily basis. Someone is
Yeah.
posting pod content.
Yeah.
Someone
Indeed.
is clicking pictures.
Let's say, yeah, and as we talked about the pod, there was the voice, there was the uniqueness that we can do a pod. Not everybody is doing it, and even if they were here, they could not talk because they don't acknowledge that uniqueness, they don't have that uniqueness that they were born with, or they try to improve on, or they try to thrive on. There comes your uniqueness. And ये नहीं है कि तुम्हें जरूरी है कि उसी लेवल पे जाना है. That means you are, every human being is unique because we all had different life experiences and we adapt different things in different way. Now may adapt a glass of water in another way rather than me. I will adapt this water in another way. All right. So इसके बाद आता है कि तुम उसे acknowledge कर रहे हो. अब now you have some mentality to put effort in it. Then you will improve. Even कोई भी और तुम ले लो, जैसे suppose recognize your uniqueness. इस पे मेरे को चीज़ याद आ गया. There is a millionaire guy. He was a millionaire, but he recognized he can fool everybody very well. So he played the act of it. He advertised himself. He just took 5-6 books like this. Even not 5-6. He took like 10 to 15 books, and he advertises himself. I am a millionaire. I go to gym. I have read this many books in a year. At that time, the books in a year was trending topic. That I have read this many books in this year. How much you have read? That guy advertised himself as a millionaire, and he pursued people so well that he even got to interview few of the millionaires that were real millionaires, but that guy was fake. But what he was his uniqueness, he can lie really well. He can persuade people in a very unique way.
Manipulation.
Yeah, he manipulated all of them, and they didn't even realize unless somebody took a reality check on him and
When the tough times hit the
disclosed his investments and his portfolio and everything. There was no funds in his account. He was just all advertisement, just persuasion. That's it. That was his uniqueness. In the similar way, we all have our own uniqueness. It is up to you. You want to thrive on it or not. अगर वो चीज़ भी नहीं है, even your presence can inspire some people to be like you. Maybe you are not that successful, but if, let's say you are somebody consistent who goes daily to his job, you are doing an honest job, and you conduct yourself in a good way. Even the kids will look up to you. You need not to be.
The most dads are what you define.
Yeah, you need not to be a Superman or superhuman to be admired. Even if you are conducting yourself in a good way, good manner, you are being admired. You are bringing the discipline. There are a few figures in our family that even at some family functions, when there is some kind of order, there is a wind of order that वो आ गया शांत हो जाए. Even the kids will become calmer. Then if they are making chaos, they will become calm. कि अब वो आ गए तो order तुम्हारा उसी हिसाब से रहता है. That is their power. That is the way they manifested their power. And उन्होंने इतनी ज़्यादा instill the repetitive, the consistency of that power or the way they want things to be इतना ज़्यादा कर दिया है कि it is just by their name, but just by hearing their name, the power is instilling itself. Their uniqueness is being instilled in the people. मेरे से तो यही है कि यूनिकनेस और पावर रिकग्नाइज करना, उस पर तुम्हें थ्राइव करना कि नहीं, दैट इज अ डिफरेंट थिंग टू डिबेट ऑन और टू परस्यू ऑन. बट फॉर इनिशियली स्टार्ट करने के लिए यही है कि यूनिकनेस है. नाउ
Abhinav. Take your time, man.
What was the question? How to recognize your power? Or how to implement? How to implement? Basically यार सिंपल है. सबसे पहले बेबी स्टेप्स ही लेने हैं. अगर तुम किसी चीज़ को परस्यू कर रहे हो, सबसे पहले हमें देखना पड़ेगा कि कैन वी डू दैट? खुद की, जैसे उन्होंने बोला, यू हैव टू, एवरीवन इज यूनिक, सबके अपने यूनिक टेस्ट के लेवल है, एवरीवन डज द थिंग इन अ यूनिक वे, इट्स ओके। बट सबसे पहले तुम्हें अपना जॉनरा को एक्सप्लोर करना पड़ेगा, हर दूसरे पर्सन को ऑब्जर्व करना पड़ेगा, एंड तुम्हें देखना पड़ेगा, एक पॉसिबल वेज देखने पड़ेंगे, कॉम्बिनेशन देखने पड़ेंगे। कैन यू डू दैट? इज दिस योर स्किल? कैन यू अडैप्ट दैट स्किल? इफ नॉट, कैन यू अडैप्ट दैट? हाउ टू लर्न दैट? एंड सिंपल कोड, सिंपल लाइन है कि ट्राई मैनी थिंग्स एज मच यू कैन इन योर टिल 30s। अगर तुम्हें कोई चीज़ पसंद नहीं आ रही, ट्राई करो। सक्सेस फेलियर बात की बात है, ट्राई इट। अगर तुम्हें उसमें मज़ा आ रहा है, यू कैन कंटिन्यू दैट एट अ डिफरेंट पेस, ट्राई टू लर्न समथिंग न्यू। मे बी आई एम रॉन्ग और मे बी मेरे परसेप्शन डिफरेंट है। तो सिंपल, मेरे अकॉर्डिंग तो सिंपल ये चीज़ क्या है कि जितनी चीज़ तुम क्रैक कर सकते हो, जितनी तुम चीज़ें ऐड ऑन कर सकते हो अपनी लाइफ में, चाहे शॉर्ट टर्म में चाहे लॉन्ग टर्म में, ट्राई टू ऐड दैट। एंड लोग क्या कहते हैं कि एक सर्टेन चीज़ पे आगे ना, सर्टेन पॉइंट पे आगे सेटिस्फैक्शन ले आता है कि हाँ भाई, हम वी आर सेटिस्फाइड दैट, बट दे नेवर नो देयर ट्रू पोटेंशियल। सो यू हैव टू गेन दैट, टू नो दैट ट्रू पोटेंशियल। तुम्हें हाथ पर तो मारने ही पड़ेंगे ना यार। अब ये थोड़ी ना कि हाँ तुम 2 मीटर या 2 फीट वाले स्विमिंग पूल में जाके स्विम करके बोलो कि आई हैव एक्सेल्ड इन इट। यू नेवर नो, आगे ओशन आ जाए। So maybe my thoughts are not that enough. मैं अभी frame नहीं कर पा रहा वो चीज़, but you can add your points till time I can frame my points.
Now I would like to add a different perspective.
Yeah, sure.
I would like to add the power which we humans are born with. That uniqueness, that bondage, or with that consciousness, the consciousness of a human. The consciousness of a human and the intellect of a human is so divine that we can only introspect and contemplate the things that either it is good or not. Right? There always comes the inner voice that if you are doing this, there will be voice in your head that yes, I am enjoying it, yes, I want to do it, and yes, I don't want to do it. And when a child is born, till his 7 years of age, I am now talking a bit in the perspective of psychology, consciousness, and divinity. Let me add that power into this dimension of power. There is always a voice in the head of a person that yes, I can do it, yes, I want to do it, no, I don't want to do it. I am having that thought in my mind, or deep down my consciousness or my body or my gut feeling is always saying that go for it and don't go for it. And there comes the aspect of experiences. When a child is born, there are no experience, he is just like a blank paper. If he writes his story, with his intellect and his inner voice, then the things will be different. But with the system, with the outer circumstances of the world, that paper get malleated with the malice of the outer world. Then the inner voice, which is indeed a superpower, starts suppressing. Because a person does not act on it, or a person does not start considering it, because parents, teachers, school, other aspects, friends, everyone, like just recently we talked about. There comes, I'm articulating all of it into a very simple words.
Yeah.
Then that inner voice starts suppressing that what you want to do and what you want to thrive for. That either it is good for you or not. That's why people choose a career or the steps or the things which they do not feel content with, but somehow they do it regardless. Even there will be a time when the things you like, you don't want to do it, but you have to do regardless. But your inner voice, that power will be there to lift you up, to ablaze you to do that thing. Because even when you are doing some of the things which you like, there will be time you will not feel like doing it. There comes the power of discipline, and there comes that conscious decision of doing it. Because there is deep down that voice with no malice that you want to do it. That is what takes for the first baby step, to manifest that baby step. That's what I was talking about, that what it takes to manifest that baby step. From where does the power comes to manifest that baby step? From where does the power comes to manifest that wisdom, and to vouch for that wisdom, vouch for that righteousness, and vouch for the courage which it takes to take that first step. And the only pathway to that is questioning. Questioning all your experiences, questioning all your existence, questioning your even being in this room, why you are doing it, why you want to do it. The biggest power is why. Because till date, from the dawn of human existence, where we have thrived and where we are today is all due to why. And if that why get maliced or why is not clear, your inner voice gets suppressed due to the outer factors. Even the Stoics talk about it. The concept of Stoicism in itself, if we see at a broader spectrum, if we read all of the quotes, it will lit up a path which will lead you there. That you want to do it, there is a deep voice that say that it is right. Okay, the outer world is not in your control, but there comes the power of doing the thing regardless. That is what power is. And even there has been a study by the scientists. Scientists are now studying the consciousness, what differentiating consciousness is of a human. They have even studied the neurological aspect, but neurological aspect and neurons firing in the brain cannot even define the consciousness, because consciousness in itself is conscious. The experience or the force of the universe in itself is defining that you can go for it or not. That is what power a conscious human being who is open enough to and conscious enough to learn from himself within. That is what superpower of a human is. That his intellect is so developed that even a child gets that thought of doing it and not doing it. Even some of the times, small children act in a way that don't do it. They get that vibration or something else. I'm not saying it. I'm not considering that as a pseudoscience, but there is always a voice in your head that you want to do or not do it. But your voice gets suppressed due to the outer chambers, outer caskets of this world in which you have been put into by your parents or something else. I am not criticizing them. They are acting. They are doing their best in regard to their power. But even they did not have that experiential or potential. They did not develop because their surroundings were so chaotic. Their surrounding and their circumstances were so chaotic that it never let them to experience it. Or even they did not have that opportunity which we have today. Because at that time also the emperors were only the wise one, or only the learned one, or only the individuals who had left their family, everything, and they had peace in their life to listen to that voice. That's why they used to go into Vanvas or something else. They used to go into caves to listen to their inner voice, that what is right in life, and question themselves. That took power. And hearing to that power required that baby step to go out and live a life of a sadhu or something else, where there is no bondage. But then they came to know that bondage in itself is liberating. Rules are not to bond you, but the bondage in itself is liberation. Because the emperors thrived on it, because they inculcated bondage in their life to face freedom. Because freedom in itself is order, not chaos. And that is what power is.
I agree to disagree on that child part. For the first 4 years of a child, he is just downloading stuff.
Yeah.
Children will do stupid shit. They will jump from height and get injured.
Indeed.
There is some mistake, but I don't think there is. I'm speaking from a personal experience. These children will do the dumbest shit ever, and the way they are brought up and the way their experiences will get through the initial 7 years. Let's say the initial 7 years or 11 years. I think till 14 their brain is not that much developed. So let's make it 14. They are just getting experience. Even if their parents feed into them that an expired product is the right product, they will believe in it.
Indeed.
The experiences of their life will become like that. And the voice you talked about, the courage, the step should be taken or not, is directly proportional to the experiences that they had in their life.
Indeed.
The parents supported them in their initial stage or not. If they were suppressed, as in India, the Indian parenthood style is like we suppress the habits and the behaviors that we don't need very greatly and very violently. so that they never manifest themselves in the future. That get engraved in the child's brain throughout their life. ज़्यादा दूर नहीं जाऊँगा. There was an example that for me, as my parents had taught me कि जो थोड़ा मोटा दही होता है, that is the best.
Yeah.
All right. But I had my friend come over, and he was here with me, and घर पे देखने जाते हैं. My mom bring it, but वो सही से नहीं लगा था. It was like milk. So I said कि कोई नहीं, ये ऐसा है, तो पर चलो ऐसे इससे काम चला लेते हैं. And that guy replied, this is the best thing. My parent told me this is the best. So at that moment I was so shocked that मैंने उसे बोला कि नहीं वो जो गड़ा हुआ होता है that is, कहता नहीं मेरे तो घर वालों ने यही बोला कि this is the best पनीर that this is the best दही that you get. So that thing shook me. He was 20-year-old when we were having this chat. He is 20 years old.
And he believed that.
And he still believes it.
Did not question it.
No, never.
With a superpower.
Yeah.
That there is something
else. Or even there are products out there that are offering that different kind of
Greek
consistency.
Yogurt. Greek yogurt.
Yeah. But that guy never questioned it. And he was believing this is the best product that one has to get. And this is alright. And that moment that struck me that his parents exploited him in this way. Maybe they were not able to provide. They intentionally didn't provide. They were able to provide, but they didn't provide him. But told him or made him learn that this is the best product that you can get out there.
Carved him in a way.
So that is so deeply engraved that even in his 20s, he cannot recognize that product is not that good as compared to the finest.
That is also a trait of living with the perspective that world is not abundant.
Yeah.
That whatever it is, it is.
Now that brings me to other thing. Let's say we have taught our children. This is just an example. But now our parents. There's a common saying. When I was a kid, I used to hear. Whenever they saw a rich guy or a guy who's making more than them, people commonly use this phrase कि वो दो नंबर का पहना. It's very common, right? That is a way to.
Grapes are sour.
Yeah. That is a way to cover your own incompetence.
Insecurity.
So that you didn't made it, he made it, but now you have nothing to answer. You don't want to look foolish in front of your kid. So give him some imaginary excuse. Even though there are some cases that it is, but not most of the time. There are people who are making white money, but there are millionaires. उनके पास तो दो नंबर पैसा नहीं है. But at that point, you are making him learn different things. And we are, as Indian parents, look after their children. We make sure that everything gets down their throat and they remember it for life. And on the same lines, the society has become so monotonous in the way of learning that there are only 4 fields that you can ask any parent: doctor, engineer, or बस इतना ही है. Lawyer. There are only 4 or 5 streams that everybody knows, and everybody knows their
last businessman. If their parents, if their parents are brought up,
if they have their own business, then they will promote their own business. Otherwise, there will be no business for you. So there is no talks about startup or no talks about the things that are not discovered, or you can venture into this new thing, or
the things that
there is
truly
no
matter.
support that
Truly matter.
Yeah, like a backbone that you had in your earlier age, the experiences that they made you feel, and the way they pushed you will work throughout your life. The courage and the same thing that I talked about in the previous podcast was that a dumber child of a millionaire will make the right decision to run a business rather than a brilliant child of a job doer.
Because he has his father to show the path.
The behaviors are getting engraved from a younger age. Even if the child is dumber, he knows what decision to make the business thrive. Whereas a person who have never run a business is living in a family of the people who are doing 9 to 5. They will never know how to run a business. Even if it's a brilliant one, he will make mistakes. It will be a very lucky scenario. Lucky scenario is where he put conscious effort and make decision from the past experience of the people. He will make it. But the upbringing, the courage, the inner voice get determined in those first 14 years of your life, where your parents were instilling fear in you, where they were instilling fear in you, or were they the inner voice will be determined by those 14 years of your life, first 14 years of life, were your parents instilling fear in you, Were they instilling positive growth in you? Were they instilling you are the go-getter, go, do it, we are with you? That encouragement stays you with forever. And let's say those who want to get out of that jail, who weren't provided with that kind of emotion or courage, then comes the pack like us. We bring out content to them that yeah, you can do this, you can do that. We learn, we read books, we know, we educate ourselves. If we have any chains tied to us, how to break them, how to free ourselves of that mentality, of that loser mentality, or the limiting beliefs that we develop over the age. And once you start getting over it and start taking the leap of faith, regard to your goals and regard to your better life, you thrive. There will be times when you will fail and there will be times you will burn out, but still you will not regret it because you are doing what your inner voice was saying. And there are some scenarios where, as Abhinav mentioned, you cannot pursue your dreams, but starting small, just as small as putting in 15 minutes to your work you want to do, will bring out a very great change. That is like 15 minutes per day, multiply it with 365 days and so on. Throughout 10 years you will be a specialist in that field.
And one thing I would love to dissect this 14 years paradigm. Like there comes the concept of building the self-esteem, building the self-character, because till the age of 7, as it is a proven psychological and mental aspect of the human psychology, how it works and how it processes the information. See, till the age of 7, the self-esteem of a child is not developed, but it is being inculcated with the experiences and with the actions which he or she takes. Like, see, I will take an example. If there is a 1 lakh rupee iPhone, and if there is a child of 2 years of age, and if he throws that iPhone on the floor, and his parent just slap that kid, that why you did it. That child does not know if that phone is of rupee 1 lakh, because that is nothing for him. The only thing he look up to is his parents. And there comes the fear of abandonment in a child. That inculcates a fear that there comes the comparison, which we talked about in the first phase of our conversation, that this phone is more worth it as compared to me. Because I am being slapped, I have got that beating, or I have got that pain because I acted in this way. Okay, and there comes the concept of that my worth is more than this. Okay, then there even comes the concept of like 1 to 7 years of age. Parents also act like in a way, like if you act in this way, in this particular way, you will get love. If not, you will face abandonment.
Yeah, typical Indian parenthood.
Typical Indian parenthood.
Yeah.
And there comes the concept of people pleasing.
Indeed. Indeed. We are initially starts with pleasing our parents. Although as a kid we need affection and love from our parents, but somewhere along the lines the line gets crossed. We jump to the other side.
Our parents are too not wise enough. It's not their fault. It's fault of the current system, but we cannot always put the things on system. Like if I know these concepts, do you think I will implement those? No, never. Because I am now wise enough. I know what it is and how to bring out the good. If till 7, I have acted in this way, embodied this ideology in the child's mind that if you will act in this certain way, and then you will get reward, then you will get pleasings, then you will get love, then his inner voice suppresses. That he will never get confidence to act on his feeling. Not on his feeling, on the thing he want to do. Because his parents will be not pleased by it, the people around will not be pleased by it. Then his inner voice suppresses. Until 7, after 7, till the 14 years of age, he will act in this way. Same. There forms a habit and character. That character will just replicate itself throughout his course of life.
Yeah, definitely.
And that character will never let him grow to a potential where he can be. That is the suppression of power. There comes my point that there will always be inner voice, which will come your self-satisfaction, self-contentment, self-confidence, with awareness of being self-incumbent enough to face the odds, which will only be delivered to you by your parents and the surrounding. If carved in the right way, then only your inner voice will be capable enough to talk to you. And if you want to do that, the only thing is ask question why you are acting in this way. Is I am responding in regard to my experience, what my parents, or if I am acting to please you or not.
But that takes introspection.
That is what power.
Yeah. That is realizing that I am doing this because the inner voice is talking, or is it because of the past experience of my life?
Yeah, and that is what you talked about. I think two pods. In some of our pod, that if you have any scars,
It's your responsibility.
Your responsibility is self heal them so that these scars cannot be carried over to your children.
Yeah. Indeed.
Then, if they are carried over, they will feel the pain and heat of that scars, and their focus will always be focused on feeling that scars heat and not seeing what is in front of them.
Beyond it, yeah.
And they will never be able to listen to that voice because their voice get menaced with that scars and the heat of that scars.
Definitely.
There comes that concept of listening to your voice and having the power to question everything and acting then wisely. That is putting a question mark. Are you a tyrant? Are you a slave? Are you an emperor? Because you can be an emperor in a jail, but if you are with the short mind or short mindedness, you can be capsulated in a jail by sitting on a throne. That is what power is. That is what true power is. And that power will not corrupt, that power will liberate. And when you will act of that power, out of that power, Epictetus, he was a slave. His whole life was into shambles. He was into jail, but he was an emperor in a jail. Marcus Aurelius read his quotes. He became a great philosopher. Why? Because he had that power of self-actualization and self-questioning. He always listened to his voice because he healed himself enough. Even if I am born as a slave, I am not bound to slavery. Only the human in itself has this power to question it and thrive through it.
That is his uniqueness.
Indeed it is. That is what engraving wisdom with power of self-introspection and not being rigid, being flexible enough in life to adapt and grow. That is what power is.
As Abhinav was talking earlier, in your 20s you should have different experiences. And I would like to connect that point to the Nav's point that as a kid, like just let's say when I was a kid, I wanted to start martial arts.
Before adding, let me add a small line.
Yeah.
Like as you said, you.
Water and you.
Thank you.
The cups should always be filled.
So, like as you said, consciousness and uniqueness. So, आज के टाइम पे क्या हो रहा है? Parents, if we try something new and not 10 to 15 or 17 years of age, so most of them, not I'm talking about parents, I'm talking about all the relations we have, like our for the parents, brothers, sisters, or something. If we try something new, they'll suppress us. If you are weak-minded, you are suppressed very much easily. आप suppress हो जाओगे, आप कहोगे कि नहीं, this is bad for me. You know that if I pursue this thing, I'll be on some certain level, but you will get influenced by that negativity, by that pressure. So having that self-confidence, having that conscious mind that what people will say does not matter, I'll do it and I'll succeed in life, is some different kind of power.
That is like ignorance is the bliss.
Ignorance, yeah.
You have to cut out things out of your life. Not only people, you need to cut out the voices, the noise. Sometimes you have to narrow your vision to see a greater picture. If you are just constantly letting people shave off your willpower, your perspective, your dreams, you will not be able to reach there. It's just like if you are dissipating energy in every direction, it will go nowhere. But if you are laser focusing your energy, you will go even farther than you imagined.
It's just like adding a telescope to see the craters in the moon.
Yeah. That catches is just nice. That is a very good example.
Got you.
Sometimes you have to narrow your view to see a bigger picture, something in different light. अभी सी जो पहले बात कर रहा था कि as you mentioned कि we should try different things, and I would like to connect it to what Navya said. We used to go to the boxing club. There was a kid named Pari.
Yeah.
She was doing boxing when I met her. I was in my 24th, I think, 24th or 25th. And I met her. She was quite confident, very confident girl. She came to me. She's a kid. She was like, "Hello, I am Pari," and she said, "मेरे को 1 साल हो गया boxing करते हैं." And I was just so flabbergasted. I was like, "What है कितने के साल की?" कहती 4 years. And I was like, "Damn it!" But I also was glad that her parents letting her pursue or try out different thing in such an early age will help her out in her longer run. Confidence तो आ ही गया. That kid had different confidence than her peers.
To
Right?
go to a
And-
very grown individual
Yeah.
as compared to her and say just hi.
Hi. That is a different thing because her parents were so supporting and always like letting her pursue dreams or making her try out new things so that she can find the niche which she can do very well. Is a good thing. That is a good parenting. I have not read much books on parenting, but for now the Indian parenting way is the best for me. And that is until I read some parenting books. But there was also another kid, Tyson.
Yeah.
That guy is still sticking with boxing. I don't know about Buddy. That guy is still sticking with boxing and he's doing quite well. I've seen his videos and he's throwing some good punches.
And speed.
And yeah, his speed is fabulous. But what I have observed is, I somewhere felt that this guy found what he loves to do, or found the niche where he can do perform well. But where did that come from? His parents allowed him to be there, or maybe forced him initially to be there, and he started doing those things. And along the lines, he felt, yeah, it's a year. I should do it. And there are some children who will leave it after a year, even after 6 months or 1 month, and will pursue
Why
another
you are
thing.
saying 6 months or 1 month? There came children and they just got once point in the face, and after 3 days they never
Sure.
vested again. Yeah.
So, yeah.
Their inner voice was like, leave it.
So for those who get to experience different thing at such early age, it's a blessing. But if you are in later ages or later stage, and now you are realizing that I have this uniqueness, or I should pursue this, my heart want to pursue this. The KFC guy pursued the chicken making in 60s. So I don't think age should be your barrier, or your constraints, or your family should be a constraint for you to make an excuse just not to pursue your uniqueness, right? You should make a conscious effort, even just for 10 or 15 minutes. Start with small and yeah. Starting small. इस पे भी एक था जैसे मैं विल पावर की बात कर रहा था, that people shave away your willpower. I'm not David Goggins. I don't have unlimited willpower, and I'm not that much of a high achiever as of now, right? So what I will do is, if I have to do some task, I will try to make it easier to be done. For example, if I want to read this book in the morning, I usually get ready in this room. All right, I keep this book here on the table. If I want to study something, or let's say if I want to go to gym, as of now I am home, so I just call my mother and tell her that keep my gym wear out. Just keep it ready so that when I come back, I see those clothes, I just get in them and go to gym. What I am doing is, I am creating the environment that is making it easier to pursue what I want to pursue, rather than just come home and have 10 options that I can do this, I can do that, or I can chill and watch TV or anime. I am narrowing the vision. I am not making my willpower shave away. I am just trying to make my environment in such a way that when I get there, I have next thing ready. It is easier to perform it rather than to just make that thing that time. Let's say if I have to find a book, I have kept in Almira. मैं घर आऊँगा, मेरे दिमाग से निकल जाएगा तब तक. Once I grab my phone, I started watching Insta reels. That thing is out of my mind. I will not even read the book. वो बाद में याद आएगा रात को सोने के टाइम वो बुक पढ़नी थी, पर that is gone. The willpower is gone for it now. You're gonna go sleep. So to pursue those things, you have to create your environment in such a way that the thing you are pursuing is get promoted. The behavior get promoted. That way you will develop a habit, and after that it will get easier.
Even if you have developed the habit, then even after a hectic day, you will just sit. As I can give my example, I can sit at 9 p.m. at night. I can write my code. I can post. I can edit, and at 11 I can go for it. I do it practically. I practically do it. The people who follow me knows it. The people who follow me on Snapchat, they know it. I send them the streak. Like, I'm doing it now.
But that is like you got the willpower to do it.
Yeah.
But let's say if I am being
Define the odds. I was at the hospital with my grandmother.
Yeah, you told me about that. So yeah, that is about priority and willpower. Just keeping that in mind and having the willpower to do it, even perform it or take care of the task. But for the lot of masses and in this era where people don't like pain or to
Suffer.
don't have that much energy because they're already consumed by the phones and the dopamine is shit, and everything is like so much exhausting for them. For them, it is easier to have an environment in such a way that will promote the good habit they want to continue and the passion they want to continue. For example, if you, let's say you want to edit, right? You can just, before coming home, if you have someone at your home, you can just call and say, "Mera PC on kar dena." That will make it easier. PC on hoga, you will get the idea ki I have to edit. You will just sit and edit. It is as simple as that. And let's say if you want to make food, you can chop the vegetables in the morning, and when at night you will come home, you will eat healthier rather than to bring food from outside or the fatty food or the food from day before or something. You can have a fresh food to yourself. It is just like what I have learned over the period is just you have to create the environment in such a way that those action you want to promote get easier to be done. It's as simple as that for me.
And what if the environment is not suitable enough?
Environment is not suitable enough. All right. There comes the willpower.
Because every time environment will
not be favorable. Yeah, indeed.
And 90% of the time,
And there will be days you will be like wanted to run away from it.
Yes.
But वही है जैसे I was living alone. The experience I've shared, I was living alone. The house was big. I had to clean myself. I had to cook myself. Even I was preparing for something, so I also had to read. But once I just started Insta, there's no going back. Or once I got some call, or once I started chatting with someone, there's no going back. So I made a discipline. I made a regime for myself. When I woke up, I just prepared my breakfast. After some time, I got efficient in all that, right? So I prepared my breakfast. I went to work. दोपहर को 2 बजे हो जाता हूँ. जब वापस आना, first thing I just right away I did, without even changing, I started cooking my food. Because once I get comfortable in that bed, I'm not gonna wake up. And even if I did, I would like order. Most probably you gonna order. There is a highest possibility. When you are getting facilities, you will do it. You will take that chance.
Yeah.
But I just
You have that power that corrupts you.
Definitely. This is a power, but it's the easy way out, and everybody takes it.
This is
but
power.
yeah.
Which will corrupt you or build you.
So I just used to मैंने सामान रखा वहाँ पे साइड पे. I just used to cook my food, have it, and then change and everything, then study for a bit, and then just call home and then sleep. That's it. It takes some willpower if you don't have the conditions or the environment is not favorable. But then it will be up to your willpower. You will fail more often rather than the previous scenario.
Yeah.
But that if you are able to develop, if you tough it out, I'll say
You have to be tough on oneself.
Yeah.
Deep down, you have to be very disciplined and very tough on yourself, and then you have to be very acceptable, or you have to be very calm with others. Because you cannot expect the same from them, because their journey and your journey is not same.
Even there will be times when some will interrupt your routine. There are cases you are maybe imagining something, some other scenario, and your relatives just popped up.
Yeah.
You cannot do or carry out the task with what you will do at that time or that span of time. The days consumed. There are some days that are you cannot do anything. Maybe something happened.
But you can do something.
Nah. But there are some scenarios. Let's say you have to immediately travel somewhere.
Yeah.
It is a 12-hour drive. At that point of time, in that span of time that you maintain, you will not be able to do it. and the day after it you have something very important to carry out, you will not be able to conduct your activities that you normally do or the discipline that you carry out. So
yeah, sometimes
there are exceptions.
Yeah,
and days,
indeed there will be exceptions. There will be 0.001% of the
Yeah.
time when you cannot
not
do it.
perform.
Like,
And the things I'm talking about is like where the situation is non-negotiable.
Yeah.
And it is not about the days when you make excuses. मैंने बड़ा सारा काम कर लिया. I have done more than enough.
and you are just
Now I
sitting
need
beside.
rest.
Sitting
That
beside.
is different case. That is lack of willpower. And that is lack of the obsession and or the discipline or the motivation that is driving you. That is a different thing. What I am talking about is there is some scenario you cannot perform it. Let's say you are somewhere else. You cannot do it. You have other responsibility to take care of. That is alright. But if you are
But you
having
are taking care of something.
yeah, you are doing something. But
But if you are free,
yeah, and making excuses.
just sitting in like, I cannot do it. Then you are
That's an
deciding.
excuse.
And what I do is like you said, calls. I just plug in my headphones. If I have to work out, I just listen to the other person and do my push-up. That is will. That is power.
Yeah, that will bring me to another point. Once you start conducting your life in a disciplined way, or you started pursuing your goals, the real ones in your life, they will understand that at this time, because they are in constantly touch with you, they will acknowledge that is this time you are doing this. They will know it, and they will not even bother you at that time, because those who want to promote or see growth in you, na, they will always try to not bother you when you are in your productive hours. They will talk to you later on. They will wait for you. They will not make a fuss about it that you didn't talk to me, because they know you are developing yourself or you are working on something that can make a bigger impact than they have or what you already have.
And even there comes one more scenario. If, see, the responsible one will take more responsibilities. He will take a hell of a lot of responsibilities that even he will be born to it, and even that bondage will sometimes prick him that I am not being able to give time to my other responsibility. Like that phone call one, you have to call at your home. You have to listen to them. But there is even a responsibility you have to work on. So you just plug in the headphones and you do your push-ups, and at that same time you commit with the call and you take care of that. Same goes in life. You are in your business, you have to read, you have to make calls with your kids, you have to make call with your woman, but you have to do your business. You cannot turn your back. See, they will understand, but if I am not providing them with it, my physically or emotionally, that is also not being responsible enough or not putting out all of the power which I have. So that time you have to be even more powerful and take that both aspects, that at the same time you are working physically and mentally. Then your power will increase.
Yeah, that is what I meant.
Yeah,
Like,
that is what you choose when you evolve.
yeah.
That takes steps. That take that consciousness that at the same time you can even work on your mind and your body. And even understand the other's perspective and do the same things. Like 10 of the things you can take and you can just thrive through it. That takes focus, that takes power.
Definitely.
Building character.
The example now gave is like, let's say you are working a business 9 to 9, right? The people who will support you will not bother you that much. Let's say you are having meetings or you are making decisions throughout the day. Nobody can make every decision right, but let's say you are just having like making decisions, stressing out, like taking the stress of the business, taking out activities. The one who know you are doing, you are in your productive mode or you are in your work mode will try to bother you with less, rather than compared to the people who don't want to see you succeed or don't want to focus into the work. Even your colleagues or the one you are working with will perform the same things. Those who have a good in their heart for you, they will know that he is in the zone, I should not bother him right now. But there are some people who are already watching you like, अगर ये अब कर गया ना, he will surpass me. They will intentionally disrupt your wave, and that is something you should acknowledge, and that is some kind of people or the energies that you should be aware of and cut out. That is when I talk about the ignorance is bliss. That is ignorance is bliss. You have to make your life clean. जैसे हम बस कॉफी फिल्टर करके पीते हैं ना, बस वही है, वो चीज़ें निकालनी है, मतलब बस वो कॉफी का
अपने आप
एक्सट्रैक्ट चाहिए अच्छा.
अपने आप को भी फिल्टर करना पड़ेगा कि yes, I have this and I have to do this regardless.
Now I have a question.
Yeah.
We have talked about uniqueness, power, and all. What about self-doubt? That will come when I recognize my power. Let's say I recognize I have this potential, but there comes the self-doubt that people are doing well better than me.
How to address that?
Yeah.
There will always be people out competing you, but the only chance to compete with them is to act. Without acting, you will never be able to know can you surpass them or not, because the action in itself can only define it. They are doing it or they are pursuing it because they are taking actions in it. The only way to run a marathon is by running it, or by just putting in the constant practice on daily basis so that you can develop the stamina. At that time, you have to be open enough to see that there are flaws in me. Then you have to compare. Then you have to mirror that. Then you have to adapt. Then you have to consciously build that will and take that suffering and pain. Then that self-doubt, because self-doubt can only be put into rest by actions. Either it is mental or physical suffering. If you want to put it into rest, you have to consciously face the suffering. And then once you face it, you thrive through it. That's when self-doubt will be questioned and answered and put into peace. Because then you will know your capacity, others' capacity, your way of acting, his way of acting, and if you are wise, you will even see the flaws in his way of acting and flaws in your ways of acting. You will rectify them and then you will act. And that action, regardless of the success or failure, will be self-contenting.
Yeah.
And that self-contentment will never let you stop. That other person can stop after running a marathon. But what if you are not running, if you are not stopping even after finishing the marathon? Even if you run for 10 miles more.
It's just like those who love to walk will always walk a kilometer more or
Even
10 kilometers more.
For this character, same character or power, what I am doing is, if I have, when I go for run, I just put in the timer of 30 minutes, that 30 minutes continuously, without stopping my feet, I have to run. When that alarm sets on, and when it beeps, like it's now 30 minutes. For inculcating that same character, I do 2 rounds more. Just for 5 minutes or 3 minutes, I just put in the mood. Because I want to outcompete those who are bound to bondage. I am bound to bondage. Once I am bound to bondage, I have done my task, there comes the liberation. After that, that 3 minutes or 5 minutes extra gives me liberation. Because that was set in my mind. That 30 minutes were my mental bondage. How I can break them? By my physical action. And there comes the suffering, that self-doubt. Stop. But you are courageous enough, and you are self-inflicting on oneself enough. I have to do it. Then only I can get that confidence, like if any of the individual is doing, I will meet you in the long run.
Yeah,
There comes the point of competing with them in the long run. Because you are not competing with them, you are competing with oneself. You are competing with one's own thoughts. You are in war with your inner self. And that war is the greatest war to be fought. And once you have fought that hopelessness or the hope, once you have manifested that hope that you will get rest after 30 minutes into hopelessness of next 3 to 5 minutes, that hopelessness will give you hope of peace. That peace will never be deteriorated. That peace no one can take away from you. Even if that person runs 40 minutes, you will like, I have ran 35 minutes, that 40 minutes are nothing for me. You can rest after that, I can run 50. Same goes with life, business, your woman, everything. Your kids, your books, everything.
Basically,
There
in
comes-
short, you have talked all about this, is exploring options. All the options you have, like you have an option after 30 minutes, you have an option to go to home and just sit and do other parts, but you have an option, a positive option, like I have done 30 minutes, I'll run 5 minutes more. It's just basically about that, exploring options in every possible way, every possible scenarios. It's not about in one happy path, like I have to go to office, cook my food, come back, do my other basic home necessities and done with the day.
And even there comes the
exploring
concept
option,
of-
like exploring option will like after all that scenario, what you are adding more, what you are adding something next, like subconscious mind or conscious mind will say like you have done so
there
many
will
things.
be war and self-doubt.
Yeah.
That
You
is
have
like
done so
breaking
many
the
things.
construct.
You have done so many things. Like as you said, environment will suit you. And आपको खुद का environment set करना पड़ेगा. Like you said, मैं घर आता हूँ वापस तो यहाँ तो मेरे सामने बुक पड़ी होती है. अगर editing करनी तो PC on होता है. या अगर जिम जाना तो कपड़े. But ये सारा कुछ करने के बाद एक होता है कि हाँ चलो I have completed it for my day. But exploring option वाले side में आएगा कि what else can I add?
Add on.
क्योंकि अगर वी आर टॉकिंग अबाउट द लॉन्ग रन तो एक ही चीज को स्टिक रहना इज ओके. एक सर्टेन पॉइंट ऑफ टाइम तक रहेगा. इट्स कंप्लीटली फाइन टू स्टिक विद वन थिंग. बट आफ्टर सम टाइम, आफ्टर अ ईयर, आफ्टर अकम्प्लिशमेंट और आफ्टर अचीवमेंट आप कहोगे भाई ये तो डेली की रूटीन
What
है. You will be in the loop. How to escape that loop? How to get that power to escape that loop is exploring the things.
Not even just exploring, like
Exploring
if
and
you-
implementing.
if you go to
Exploring
the
and
gym,
implementing.
like
Yeah.
if you go to the gym, there people say when your 10 reps are finished, people say 2 more. If you are a philosopher, then you can, in that 2 reps, then you can add philosophy, and if you are wise enough, you can take that philosophy to the other dimensions of your life, which I just talked about. That 3 minutes more or 5 minutes more.
That is like something breaking the construct that we built in mind. That I've done 30 minutes.
The basic idea.
I'm done. I'm getting the reward. But you broke that construct. That this is not the reward. The reward is yet to come.
Yeah.
And the expectation and everything that is something happens in mental that cannot be explained. But the feelings that rush in, the chemicals that rush in, that what the fuck he's done.
And
He's just
even
doing another thing.
when you like, if see, you can compare 2 individuals. Okay, the individual who had set an alarm of 30 minutes and who had run, and if he stops, he will be at cloud 9. He will be like, I am very happy.
I'm done, yeah.
I am done. I have done this. Yes, I want victory. I am this. I am that. But the person who has ran 5 minutes more will be at peace. He does not have that. That amount of breaking the insecurity that I ran 30 minutes, because he did not had insecurity after 35 minutes. He is at peace.
That is something like also building your willpower day by day, bit by bit.
Yeah, and that is what philosophical aspect of doing that 2 reps more is, because when you reach the upper paradigm or that 1%, you are not acting as a peasant. You are acting as an emperor so that you can take care of your throne.
Even in the gym, it's like sometimes there is this mentality that I had once in the reel that Muhammad Ali started counting his reps when it started paying.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was doing these reps and I went to 10 and I was like Muhammad Ali started counting his reps when
It started
paying.
working.
Yeah. So I started counting it then. What that did is my body was like, this guy ain't gonna stop. What that brought is, it broke the construct that there is a number to be reached. That broke the construct that this is the destination. It gave me a perspective of abundance, right? There is a bigger picture to be seen. There is more that we can achieve. That also in turn improved my willpower. That I made a construct that I have repeated that 12 rep sequence so many times that it got engraved in my body. I can only do 12 reps. But the moment I thought that 12 is the zero and now I start, the whole construct broke. And my brain was like, now what? Now what we will do?
Explode.
That will give birth to a new perspective, a bigger picture, and an even greater willpower that you had yesterday.
And that can be resonated to the concept of the inner voice.
Yeah. Indeed. The more you listen, the more it talks.
Yeah.
The more it shows you a pathway.
The more you turn your back, the more it stays quiet.
Right.
There comes the concept of, and hence proved the concept of listening to that inner voice, that I want to do it or not. With the help of questioning and putting a question mark that is it enough or I am done.
But
Or
some people, it's a pity that some people will
will never experience it.
Yeah. They are so afraid to break out of it that their life will end, but they will still not experience it.
They are so comfortable in their comfort zone. Like they'll be like, "बाहर तो भाई ठंडा है, मैं नहीं रखूँगा रजाई के बाहर."
Universe will be
You
like, I
you
feel.
have to go out to experience all these things. अगर तुम comfort zone में रहोगे हमेशा, you will never get something different or extra you wanted, है ना? तो सेल्फ डाउट तो रहेगा ही रहेगा, हमेशा ही रहेगा सेल्फ डाउट कि भाई मैं आई वांट टू डू समथिंग बट मैं अपने कंफर्ट जोन में खुद को मार लिया बट आई कांट डू दैट.
And self-doubt in itself is liberating. It will not bond you, it will liberate you.
And there are
To go beyond that-
there are always two options. One is to liberate and one is to grab and hold you back. There are always two options.
Yeah, I would like to add one thing. As Nav has said, I know his perspective, I know what he means, but it gave me another perspective. Like after running, even after 30 minutes, he ran 5 more. I know the reasons he did it for, I know what he felt, but there are some people who after putting 1 or 2 hours, let's take editing, right? There are some people who will edit a video for 2 hours, alright? They have done the best video that they can produce. But even after that, they will look for perfectionism. They will put in time. They will not muster up the courage just because of the insecurity that this is not perfect yet. And it ain't gonna be perfect even after the month or whatever. But just because of that insecurity, that perfectionism मतलब कभी नहीं आता है. And a lot of people are there जो जिनको starting में inner voice आती है, वो perfectionism के पीछे पड़ जाते हैं. I in the past few days I posted 2 videos of mine edited for like in the initial stage. मैं starting ही करी है, so it took me 1 hour. I was in the office, so I had spare time. I wasn't having anything on hand, so I started editing. I cut and everything. जो भी था मैंने कर दिया post. It was done for me कि ठीक है लोग देखेंगे. But now consider another scenario. I edited a video, the best of my capabilities. I edited my video, but then I obsess कि अभिनव तो इतनी अच्छी वीडियोस डालता है या अभिनव अपनी पूरी बीट सिंक करता है, मेरी सिंक नहीं हुई. एंड जब मैंने बीट सिंक कर दी सपोज, देन आई विल लुक इनटू या ग्रेडियंट ही नहीं हुआ अभी, इसका कलर वो विविड नहीं है, हाउ टू डू दैट, वो कर दूंगा तो 4 नुक्स और निकल आएंगे. I will be in the constant loop of perfectionism and will never execute.
And even that will limit you not to do the 10 more tasks which you could have done.
Yeah.
And that 10 would have acted as a blessing for you instead of just one.
Like आपने कल परसों मेंशन करा मेरे को कि you have that video, इसमें ये वाला करके फिर 1 सेकंड का पॉज. That was an option. That was an exploring option for me. I did it. चाहे मैं उस टाइम I was in a meeting.
Yeah.
I had my 30-40 minutes after. उसके बाद I had that option to be in that comfort zone, fuck the phone and go to sleep. But I was like, ठीक है, I have that potential. I have that option कि भाई ठीक है, I have some sample videos, I have to edit it. I daily edit that videos. चाहे मैं post करता हूँ नहीं करता हूँ, चाहे I'll dump that after, but I'll use that sample videos. Try to edit it in different ways. A simple walk video in different ways and different options, exploring different options.
And with regard to it, I would love to add that there comes the art of not giving a fuck.
Yeah.
When you develop yourself enough, or when you start acting on your wisdom and your perspective with your belief and with your confidence, there comes the art of not giving a fuck that I know what I deserve and I know what I feel and what message I want to deliver. Whatever the people will think will not matter to you, because if deep down you believe in the concept of memento mori, then everything what you do today or tomorrow or you did yesterday does not exist. So why not? Why to go for perfection? The imperfection in itself is perfection, which gives the door of opportunities for the perfection to manifest in the future, and that gives the constant learning perspective to a person so that he can inculcate that power and divinity in his mind, so that he can embrace, or he can run, or he can thrive for the power till his last breath.
As we also talked about earlier about the kid and the parenthood and everything, that also brought a point in light that sometimes in a social group, if you have some unique ability and you express it, let's say I am doing pod and I express in my friend group that I do pod, and people started criticizing me, suppose, I will be so fast to adapt to that situation and will agree हाँ नहीं करना चाहिए. वो कहाँ से आ रहा है? The way one was brought up, he was told कि ये सबको पसंद नहीं है, you should not do it.
People pleasing, there comes the concept.
That got engraved in our heart, in our mind somewhere. And when you are pursuing your uniqueness, and if someone criticizes, you just take a step back instantly. नहीं ये तो हाँ ऐसे ही है. Let's say you are a writer, you wrote a very good book. But if someone, if you had that kind of mentality and someone criticize कि कौन लिखता है यार book ये कौन पढ़ेगा यार, you will instantly take a step back and you will throw your book away. Don't be that guy. Have some. It will take time. Even as a kid, if I used to do a little bit of art and a little bit of sketching, there were some people who loved it. When they loved it, I did it even more. And there were some people who criticized it. I said, मैं कभी करता हूँ. ठीक है. As a kid, we do that. But now, as I have grown, I have read some things. I keep my view loud and clear. Even if they say the pod is really easy, I love doing. That's why I do it. You wanna watch? It's alright. You don't wanna watch? Get the fuck out of it.
Yeah.
It's as simple as that. And same goes for your uniqueness and your own power and your own abilities. If you know you have the talent, let's say your family doesn't approve of you of becoming a chef, but you know if you become a chef, you will be the best. To hell with it. Do it. Shackles always gonna be there. It's up to you. You're gonna break them and attain the unachievable, or you're gonna just be an average guy and listen to people who have never achieved a shit in their life. We are in India or everybody else. सारे advice में बड़े शेयर होते हैं. They have never experienced more than you, or even they are even experienced less than you. But they will give you advice in such a way that you will think he knows everything. But in reality, they are just bluffing and giving out fake viewpoints from a video or even some imaginary scenarios. You will not know the path and the hardships on the path unless you start treading. Just start treading. The things will come along, you will deal with it.
And even there will be time that your aura will be so powerful that they will not speak in front of you, but they will speak behind your back to your friends or the people who are close to you, so that their message can be conveyed. But when you will face them face to face, they will be like, everything is good, you are inspiring. People will watch, will not appreciate, because they themselves do not have that power to do the same. They will watch, but when the time will come when that person or individual who is doing the work will be in the top hierarchy, they will say he's my friend.
Right, yeah. Even the famous YouTubers, their family didn't approve of their YouTubing and the videos, the content they were making. But once this money started coming in, they approved of it. They were like, "Oh right, you are doing good, great." They don't even know what is
What
the
it
child
took
is
to
in. Yeah.
do that.
Initial stages, people are not supporting, but they didn't let it get them down, right? They are always pursuing it. Let's say they waited, they toughed it out. It took them a year, 2 years, 3 years. But once the big money rolled in, even their
Everything
parents
is
were
happy.
supporting them. They were like, "This is my child."
Yeah.
तो ये तब तक ही है until unless you have polished your talent. The once you have polished it like a sharp knife and you're cutting people out there, everybody gonna love you. They're gonna say you're the best. This is my guy. This is my brother. This is my friend. ये वो. You're gonna get the recognition.
Now here I would love to add one line of which will be in regard to the mindset of an emperor. Everyone will bow down in front of you.
Definitely.
रिकॉर्डिंग चल रही है देखिए.
चल रही है, क्यों चल रही है?
बस ठीक.
एक रीसेंट एग्जांपल ही शेयर करता हूँ मैं. हम पॉड्स करते हैं, ये हमारा चल रहे हैं, वी पोस्ट इट डेली. वन ऑफ माय फ्रेंड सेड, यार तू एक ही करता रहता है.
What you cannot.
क्या भाई, ये क्या ऐसे मतलब करते क्या हो इसमें तुम?
1 मिनट की वीडियो बनाते हो या फिर क्या?
हाँ, 1 मिनट की वीडियो बनाते हैं, क्या करते हो?
अच्छा.
मतलब किस टॉपिक में कौन सा, तो मतलब 1 हफ्ते पहले टॉपिक्स वगैरह तैयार करने शुरू हुए? नहीं, ऑन द स्पॉट होता है तो. लाइक इफ वी आर डूइंग दिस पॉड, वी हैव डिसाइडेड दिस टॉपिक बाय सेटिंग आवर कैमरा. इधर से सेटअप हो रहा है, इधर से हमारा टॉपिक डिसाइड हो रहा है. एंड द सेकंड थिंग इज, मैं तेरी वीडियो सारी देखता हूँ, पता नहीं यार मैं फॉलो कितना है कि नहीं. बंदे देखते हैं, he exactly knows how many posts are there, what is the channel name, but he does not follow.
And there comes the
And
power of
उसके-
insecurity.
Yeah, उसके बाद भाई बंदा कहता है कि यार ये तो भाई क्या ही है, छोड़ उसको छोड़. एंड अगर उसका लाइफ का सिनेरियो देखें तो उसका लाइफ का सिनेरियो क्या है? इन सैटरडेज को भाई या तो रेस्ट करेंगे या तो क्लब में जाएंगे, एंड संडेज को ये जाएंगे अपना घूमने फिरने, होटल पे बैठेंगे. नहीं, पहाड़ों पे नहीं, पहाड़ नहीं लाने यार, पहाड़ वाले पिछली वीडियो में फ्रेंड हो गए. पहाड़ नहीं लाने इस बार. They will go to the clubs or they will go to the hotels and go there swimming and having the drinks and chill. Yeah, snap डालेंगे भाई, we are chilling. But at that same time, what I am doing, I am practicing, I am increasing my skills in editing, I am doing my office work. कल की बात ये है, रात को 10 साढ़े 10 11 बजे he was at club enjoying his drinks and I was editing my videos. क्यों? क्योंकि I know that
What your priorities are?
yeah, what my priorities are.
And where you
And
want
like
to be.
initially जब हम ये pod start कर रहे थे, I do not have that uniqueness. I do not have that courage to sit in front of camera and speaking it. अभी भी कुछ वीडियोस में मैं बहुत ही ज्यादा शांत हूँ. अभी भी मैं वो करेज बिल्ड कर रहा हूँ. ऐसी बात नहीं कि करेज बिल्ड नहीं हुआ. I've gained it many months.
And I think that will never stop.
Yeah, that will never stop.
And the
Never.
improvement is phenomenal. From like in the first pod he said barely few words, and now he's just presenting his views and
Yeah.
offending people.
From offending people. This is just my favorite thing.
Yeah.
और वो अपनी ड्राइंग्स वगैरह एंजॉय कर रहे हैं एंड आई एम पुटिंग माय एफर्ट्स, पुटिंग माय वर्क. एंड उसके बाद कई बार क्वेश्चन आते हैं, भाई जिम जा रहा है. आई नो माय शेड्यूल इज फक्ड अप. आई नो माय आई एम सिटिंग 11 in the morning and getting my work done till 10 PM night. उसके बाद डिनर, उसके बाद अपनी एडिटिंग स्किल्स, बुक रीडिंग एंड till 12 I'll close everything and sleep. बट फिर अगर इनको शेड्यूल बताऊं तो दे आर लाइक भाई जिम कब जा रहे हो? मॉर्निंग एट 5 PM सॉरी. आई नो आई एम टायर्ड इनफ. आई नो माय बॉडी
Leaders will always be exhausted. No doubt in that.
I am not fully recovered, but I know I have to do that. Cause क्योंकि जो पास्ट था उससे निकल के आया मैं बाहर. मेरे को वो उस पास्ट में वापस नहीं आना.
Definitely.
I don't want to be that fat kid more. So I have to put in the work, regardless of what are the circumstances of life. बाहर क्या चल रहा है? जितनी मर्जी hard paths हो, I have to do that. If I have to do that, I'll do it.
And there comes another concept which I just
And this
with
is
your
one of
words.
our power, like prioritize your things over which are less prioritized. जो चीज तुम्हें ज्यादा important है पहले वो करो ना.
Yeah.
And even with
अब-
your words.
अब तुम्हारे पास दो options हैं. फोन देना. You have two options, either to scroll down, either to read books. Most of the people will do it. भाई बुक्स को
Easy path.
They
They will
will
easy-
हम
easy path.
इंस्टाग्राम रील्स शेयर स्क्रॉल करते हैं, शेयर करते हैं बंदियों के साथ, बंदियों के मैसेज आएंगे. ठीक है. और दूसरा हार्ड बात क्या है कि भाई ये तो साथ में ही है, वहाँ से कुछ विजडम गेन कर लेते हैं. वन ऑफ माय फ्रेंड, उसको पता मैं बुक्स रीड करता हूँ. देयर आर टू टाइप्स ऑफ पीपल इन माय लाइफ, और दोनों को पता मैं बुक्स रीड करता हूँ. वन इज लाइक यार आफ्टर रीडिंग बुक्स यू हैव बिकम रूट. मैंने 2 पॉड्स पहले भी ये लाइन बोली थी. एंड वन इज लाइक भाई तू बुक्स रीड करता है, शेयर सम विजडम विद मी. There are two people, there are two types of people in your life. One will pull you back and one will push you up. कि भाई ठीक है तू अच्छी चीज कर रहा है, तू और कर. We'll support you.
And there are people who even got motivated that I talked about the gym and the boxing. They started going to the gym.
You
You have met them.
you will inspire people.
Yeah,
That
there are
will
a
be
lot of
successful.
people who want to get inspired and start something new after seeing you that if he can do it, I can too. But there are some people who like
You inspired him. You inspired him by posting it. I inspired him by lifting weights.
Yeah, there are some.
वेट 1 साल रुक गया, मैं भी इसी वेट पे हूँ. बिल्कुल अब
Definitely.
And with your words, the one aspect which I was glossing over came into limelight that there will be powers of ameliorating you, liberating you, and there will be powers of self-deteriorating you, negative powers.
Deterring you.
Yeah, on the same lines, there
grooming
is
you.
the one page that I follow. The guy, Matt Gray. This guy posted, I think 4 days back, he posted a carousel on the upward spiral. Yeah. The definition was so great, it changed my perspective. And he even wrote that after reading this, your perspective will change. He said, once you start taking a decision in regard to your goals or in regard to your betterment, you will manifest the reality into this world that otherwise wouldn't have been manifested if you chose to just gloss over your phone. Now that you have manifested that decision and that reality into this world, you will take another decision in regard to this one. The next decision will also be in that same line and will also provide you with success and contentment. And the same goes on, the chains get bigger and bigger, and that will promote or you bring you into the upward spiral, and that is the upward spiral.
Indeed.
And the definition, after reading the definition,
It was mind-boggling.
Yeah. Every conscious decision, like after reading book, I have two choices. Either I can rest, or I can cover the topics that I have left earlier, or can learn new things, or what is going into the world, or other decision is just lay and watch TV. After doing that, again, different paths opened up. Yeah, I have to choose the new reality of me. The concept is so mind-boggling. I can't even just explain it that with that clarity the guy have explained it. Like every time after a decision, after carrying out the activity, you will have the same question to yourself. Now what? Now what? Will we make a decision that will still keep us in the upward spiral?
Just
Or-
like Memento Mori.
yeah, memento mori creates a sense of it realizes you of your mortalness, that
Yeah.
you may leave the world, and create a sense of
That you cannot waste your even a second.
Second.
1 second of
Yeah.
your existence.
that may put some people into the rush of living.
And that also inculcates a thought that if this is the last day,
Yeah.
and if you are wise enough, then you have to manifest your one day into something good, so that this world even can be more beautiful. The
Beautiful.
same goes with the
Yeah.
upward spiral. Like
Spiral.
you are asking
Manifesting-
yourself that either I am manifesting good or
Good bad.
evil.
Yeah. But for some people, the momentum mori can go such a
Yeah,
down
in
way
the
that
downward
this is my
spiral.
last day. I should
See,
have some relaxation.
I should act on my feelings.
Feelings.
That is what peasant mentality is.
Yes.
If you will be emperor, you will be like, I have duties to do. It is my last day. I will do the best of it, so that my
Name can be written in the golden words.
my throne can even survive or even thrive without me.
Yeah.
That my work is so phenomenal that I imparted so much force into it that even if I am not existing, then also it is just automated. Everyone, the people I love are being provided. My throne is taken care of. The legacy I leave is taken care of. People have the things to look up to. I am living my day with so much integrity and accountability that I can be looked over even if I am not there tomorrow.
Yeah, that is very.
That is what the momentum
Yeah.
mori is. Not like it is my last day, I can just fuck anyone, go out and just have hookups and
Let's party, let's just have some drinks.
just eat something.
Yeah.
Consider a person who is doing this sport and tomorrow he will
Vanish, yeah.
not exist. But today this existence will be taken or looked up to for the other hundreds of years, and you just having out drinks with your peers or just fucking some random dudes or some random dudes having hookups with the random chicks will never be looked up to.
Yeah. Now I would like to couple this memento mori and the concept of bringing a reality into this world. Memento mori will create a sense of urgency in you. It will give you a reminder that this life is limited. It has a timestamp. You have your death stamped on somewhere in this timeline. You're gonna leave this world. It will create a sense of urgency, and you will not live in the bliss of until unless someone is telling you that you will leave this world. We always think we gonna live for eternity. There is this, I don't know what the illusion it is. It happens with most of us. We go mindlessly to sleep and we carry out activities just like we got eternity to live. There is nothing like that. But when you couple the memento mori with the concept I have talked about,
Unbeatable, man. You are like in the upper hierarchy even if you are not there physically.
Yeah.
But mentally you are there, so nothing can stop your physical aspect to be there. That is what inflicting
definitely.
positive power is. Try to live your one day like this and you will be like shocked. You just going out doing 9 to 5. I am not criticizing you. Doing 9 to 5, coming back, doing something for the world, doing something for yourself, doing something for the people you love, and having that contentment at the end of the day that okay, even if I don't get to live the other day, still I have imparted something good in this universe. With regard to the upward spiral.
that also brings me to the line that if somebody has benefited from you, what do you expect in return?
Yeah. If you what you wanted, like it is the quote of the Marcus
Marcus
Aurelius,
Aurelius.
and he say if you are a peasant, you will just
Look for another
the
favor
third
or,
favor
yeah.
or the reference. But if you are emperor, you will like true generosity.
Yeah.
I have done it because I want it. I don't want something in return.
Your
I'm the-
presence itself is benefiting others. It should not affect you. It should liberate you to do even more.
Yeah,
That being
tomorrow
present.
I will not
yeah.
exist. Whatever I have, take it, man. I'm there for you.
When you couple all these things, the self-doubt that we talked about, the potential you have and the self-doubt you get, it's not gonna matter. because when you're
Achieving
considering
perfection also
yeah.
will not matter.
Because at last, if you consider momentum mori and you consider your talent, you will be like, there is no guarantee that even I will wake up tomorrow or not. You will start pursuing it. No self-doubt can stop you. And even if that is stopping you, the other concept of bringing the reality of the different routes spreading out into the future, you just chose the one that will put you in the upward spiral. And the next decision is also with respect to that, and keep creating a carousel of upward spiral and a good decision.
Spirals.
Yeah. It's just such an
Mind-blowing,
amazing
yeah.
concept.
Even just imagine only if the 50 of the individuals we see our pod, and even if the 2 of them acted in the upward spiral, can you imagine where the world will be?
Yeah. The impact they will have on the world.
Due to
and
our
society.
words,
Yeah.
not just because of our energy which we are spitting out in this universe, or trying to put out with the power which it takes to do the same.
Yeah.
Try see that their power how will complement this universe, and this is what having true intellect is.
Yeah. Those
Being
people
decisive is
who are already watching our pod, they are making a conscious decision to push themselves into the upward spiral.
that's why they are there,
Yeah.
and we respect you for it. From the
Those
bottom
who
of
want
our
to
heart.
deteriorate, they will be watching some chicks or some songs or some comedy videos.
Recipes.
Yeah.
Nowadays, food vlogging and food recipes are very famous. Man, take some suffering, have some discipline in life, consider some basic food, sleep on the floor. Even the Stoics used to do it. Even the great Emperor Marcus Aurelius used to sleep on the floor because he wanted to add some suffering into his life. When I was at the hospital there with my grandmother, and I had a run because I saw my day, the suffering was missing in it. I wanted, I will go for it.
Yeah.
That is also self
Less-
intellect with the power.
That is like personal respect. Even if you have to learn to make a rocket, that is going to be boring. There is nobody gonna. Elon Musk is not dancing in front of his team. Let's make a rocket. They are reading theoretical things. They are reading the formulas. They are reading how technology works, how chemical works. There is different kind of knowledge, and it's not entertaining. It take efforts. It take constant decision making and choosing the right thing over the easy one. And it is choosing the right thing, despite even if it's hard. It is just about choosing the right thing and putting themselves in the upward spiral.
And even he is very well aware that he has limited time on this world,
Yeah.
but the thing he will do can be carried over by any random individual throughout the world who can carry over or even manifest something greater which he had created. Because to look up to something, you should have something to look at the greater picture.
Yeah. Anything can be made again in this world, but your time will not come back. It cannot be made again. It cannot be unless there is some significant improvement in making the dead alive.
Yeah.
Your time ain't coming back. You can make your lost money again in this life. You may recover your relationships that you lost, but time is not coming back for you.
So consider the concept of memento mori and live like an emperor.
Yeah.
And that's what living with the power is. And even to be more powerful, you can read the book Power. Yeah,
Definitely.
that is a very nice advice for anyone who want to genuinely be more powerful.
Yeah. Instead of talking to some random people about some random things without any virtue, you should read a book. That will provide more value in your life rather than a random dude talking about a chick that he met somewhere.
Yeah.
This is more This is like giving respect to It is along the lines of recognizing your power and providing respect to your goals and your potential. It is a way of providing the honor to your potential and your uniqueness, rather than just wasting it, or rather than just holding yourself back every day just because what people will say.
And even your uniqueness.
The other concept from momentum, or even those people who are criticizing you or laughing over you, they will be gone after 5, 10, 15, 20 years. They will not be there.
And even that uniqueness we are talking about, when inculcated with power, will manifest uncommon among uncommon. That is what superior uniqueness is. So consider something powerful in life. Your every action should be self-empowering and even empowering to the people around. Consider living in that way. Consider just one day of it. Consider just 24 hours of it. Bond yourself to that 24 hours. That bondage of 24 hours will lead to the liberation that you have never felt in your life ever.
We also talked about honesty somewhere in between. I thought you talked about it. Even if you are not honest to the people or you are deceiving people, that is all right with me. I don't judge you for that. But you should be honest with yourself, honest with your actions that you did throughout the day, honest with where you wanted to be, but are you really there, or what action you wanted to take? Did you really take them? Deceiving people or being honest with them is totally your choice, but being honest with yourself is your responsibility, and it should be taken with utmost care. Being responsible and honest with oneself.
I totally agree to disagree on it.
Yeah.
Because the concept of lying and agreeing to the people or the people around is not just bound to oneself. Because the way you do one thing is way you do the rest of it. The Stoics, and I duly thank them for it. As if you start lying to the people beside you, you just constantly lie. You live in a delusion. You live in a strawberry world where there is everything good, and you cannot even speak what you believe in or manifest what you believe in. But when the suffering will come or the roof will get heavy, your roof will collapse. Why? Because when you will have that self-talk with yourself, you will never be able to speak truth. You will say there is something else. If there is fog, you know what you will say, that after 10 kilometers I will get the clear road. But if you are well aware, and if you are a well driver, or you have learned enough and you have worked enough on yourself, you will be like, okay, if I have to travel 100 kilometers, I will consciously choose to be more self-aware as compared to living in the ignorance that I will get the clear pathway after the 10 kilometers of my travel.
That is being honest with yourself.
That is what. But if you are not honest with the people beside, that your self-intellect will be dishonest, and that people will be into shambles and never be able to be honest with the people beside. And how we can expect they will be honest with themselves?
I still agree to disagree. The quote that you mentioned, I thrive on it. But still, there are some scenarios in the past, or even the emperors have used the deceit or the dishonesty, or let's say मतलब उनको किसी तरीके से
for the manipulation, for the sake of good. That is
That
under
is-
condition acting by being honest with oneself.
That is what I mentioned. You should be honest with yourself. You can be dishonest with anybody out there.
I totally agree.
But you should be honest with yourself that what are you doing and why you are doing it. Rather than you can be dishonest with people out there because maybe you are doing it
Out of
एक
love.
तो है कि तुम मैं ये नहीं कह रहा कि तुम सबके साथ dishonest हो. There are gonna be some people that you should
And I
trust
was
that
talking about the people who are always dishonest.
But there is selective dishonesty somewhere. When you are trying to evaluate some person, you will not be honest with them. You will wait and see what kind of weapons they are harboring in their arsenal and their inventory. You will wait what damage they can bring if you act certain way. After that, you can show your real facts to them. There are certain scenarios, even in the history, it is being repeated. And in the real world, we are not having weapons or the murders, but we are doing it in other ways, in form of contracts or in form of competition, or in form of some people just steal somebody's idea or execute it even better. But for a lot of things goes on. You cannot do something like sometimes being honest can be brutally detrimental to you and your goals.
Indeed.
And sometimes you have, let's say you have very strict parents and you told them that you are pursuing what they liked you to pursue. But instead of that, you went, after you left your home, you started pursuing what you were really interested in.
Indeed.
That deceit or that dishonesty,
And that power it took to do it.
Yeah.
And wisdom it took.
you are being honest with yourself, it's gonna create pressure that you are lying at your home. But it's also gonna make you accountable to pursue what you are pursuing even more intensively, so that you can make something out of it.
Because you have the weight of lying. Because
Yeah.
you are honest to
Yourself.
yourself. That burden you carry will not be
It will press
empowering till the time you achieve it.
you. Yeah.
Once you achieve it, you will like, I'm now strong enough, add more weight to it.
Yeah.
And
And
more
then
than
you
yourself.
can stand up to your family and say, no, I
did it.
lied to you, but I did this and now I'm making this, or I am,
Even today I lied.
yeah, I am being recognized.
My sister asked me, where are you going? Today is Sunday, and why you are ready on Sunday? I said I am going for funny work. I did not told that I am going for a pot.
Yeah.
Because they cannot understand.
Definitely. And there are gonna be scenarios when people ain't gonna understand, and you don't owe anything to them to explain everything why you are doing it. Sometimes create mystery, leave it as it is. Let them interpret your actions.
But your actions should be in upward spiral.
Yeah.
With regard to your
Your-
dishonesty
yeah.
should be with regard to inflicting the upward spiral to yourself
Yeah.
and the people beside.
Yeah.
Then only your injustice of telling lie can be justifiable. That is the concept where I
Yeah.
agree. But the liars out there, if you lie,
That's not promoted.
that is not being promoted.
Yeah. It's not like be dishonest with one of your girls and you are also having extramarital affair. That is not promoted here.
Yeah.
All I am saying is be honest with yourself, and there are some situations when people will not understand you. You may lie to them freely, but be honest to yourself why you did that.
But in that dishonesty also comes a time phrase when you are appreciated and then you have to tell the truth. That is being even much more honest than prior you could have been.
Yeah. Because truth one day or another it's gonna come out.
And you
What
will be-
honesty brings to life is what honesty can bring to life is can bring hell in heaven or heaven in hell.
Yeah.
on earth in itself.
Yeah, on in your life, basically in your life, what honesty and dishonesty.
A very simple example of I am not promoting this or something. I am also against it. But a very simple example that I have seen is the guys who lie a lot get the girlfriend easily. I have seen many liars who do not have the resources but advertise themselves they got the resources, and girls fell for them just because they were advertising that they are having resources. Even if they are using the borrowed car of their friends or something. So it is as simple as that. So, yeah. Okay.
But the individuals, like we are talking about the individuals who want to be in the top hierarchy or top 1%, they will never be at peace when they are lying. They will never be able to
This
manifest
reminded me of my
that
scenario.
intensity of relationship till the time they tell the truth to the other person.
Yeah. This reminded me of a scenario when in Corona there was a post that was quite viral or something. It showed in my feed.
You have an ex? I told you that.
So there was this guy. He used to work in an MNC, but due to Corona pandemic, he lost his job. But every day he didn't. He had a child of I think 2 or 3 years, and he was newly married. What he used to do, he used to wear coat and pant. But because he was fired, he didn't tell his family that he's fired. He opted for Zomato delivery guy. He became a Zomato delivery guy, and he used to deliver food. And the story came into light when a woman asked the guy that why you are in this getup. तो ऐसे मतलब ऐसे कपड़े डाल के तू खाना क्यों लेके आ रहा डिलीवरी बॉय बना हुआ. Then he explained कि अगर मैं घर बताऊंगा तो वहाँ पे तो मतलब कलेश पड़ जाएगा ना कि मेरी नौकरी चली गई है.
Stress,
How I'm
anxiety,
gonna-
everything.
So he just took that on himself. He lied, but for the betterment of his family, so that they don't feel कि deprived कि हाँ हमारा वर्क हो गया है. We are not financially that well. उसने वो चीज़ उनसे छुपा के रखी, उनसे झूठ बोला, but he is managing somehow. He's out in the world out there, conquering the world and putting
Doing his best.
Yeah, putting food on his table, on the family, like सबको feed कर रहा है ना.
Damn respectful.
So that is the kind of dishonesty or the lying I am talking about.
That can be justifiable.
Yeah.
Otherwise, dishonesty is not justifiable. Dishonesty is just
Yeah.
will
वो अगर तुम स्कैम कर रहे हो तो obviously तुम्हें पढ़नी है ये बाद में वो तो बात लगेगी.
will lead you to a chaotic abyss.
Yeah.
That's how infliction of power of lying and power of honesty is. Power in itself is just like seesaw. That can means that if your actions are in with your wisdom and with the right perspective, broader horizon, and even narrowing the broader horizon to even see beyond the major view, then your power is something good. That's what inculcating true power is. Anything, Abhinav? Any wise words? Any closing words? Because we have talked, I think, enough. And if there is something that you would love to add, or if you have something that you are having doubt in your head that what we have talked about or something, you can definitely comment or add the topic in the comment section box, so that we can look up to it.
Yeah, just a simple example. We also talked about it, but with a different description. There is a saying that if you are weak, and do not attack the stronger. Wait out till he gets weaker than you, and then play your cards, because time ain't gonna be on his side forever. And जितना तुम उसे गेम को स्ट्रेच आउट करते रहोगे, you got time on your side. अब तुम उसे स्ट्रेच आउट करके खेलोगे, you gonna win for sure. Just believe in yourself.
And that is what I will see in the long run is. He can act out of power for 3 kilometers.
Yeah.
He can go sprint on like full speed. I can go at a constant speed for 10 kilometers. That is what.
In the past, even the stronger kings were killed by their slaves, their brethren, or their children, or just because of the power struggle.
Yeah.
So the one who waited out always came out triumph or the victorious.
There
So-
comes the power of patience.
Yeah, the time and the patience.
Because the patience in itself is self-aggrandizing. Because you want to be somewhere, can you take that patience and can you take that aggrandizing pain?
Yeah. This is gonna get long. That will also bring me to the point of consistency, showing up every day. As we have talked about it earlier, but consistency and showing up every day. इससे एक चीज पता लगी, जो perfectionism की मैं बात कर रहा था ना, there are some days when I feel my quotes are not that well, and I still post them, and those are the days जिस दिन views are like up.
Skyrocket.
Yeah.
Skyrocket.
And I'm like,
I didn't expect it.
I didn't expect it, and Salo, the one I posted with as much as perfection I could, you're not giving them love. But this one I posted just for the sake of consistency. You are just showering love over it. So just showing up and doing it every day, even sometimes the quality is 100%, sometimes it's on 50 or 80.
Even 20, man.
Yeah, but just doing it regardless of everything will make you a winner in the long run.
Yeah.
It will, definitely it will. Just like there will be only one reel for a guy to go viral worldwide.
Yeah, indeed.
You never know which
This is how the current time and world works.
Yeah, it only take one reel. You don't know which one it is. If let's say my post that had 8, my highest view were 8K. So when I wrote it, I was like, यार ये बड़ा ना ऐसे romantic सा type मेरे को feel हो रहा है. So but I still posted it. चलो देखते हैं क्या reaction आएगा. And as I just hit the post button, I locked my phone and went to sleep. And in the morning the views were skyrocketing. The reel got collective views से भी ज़्यादा views के थे. So I was like, what the? So consistency and not judging yourself will bring power to your life.
That is also power of discipline, courage,
Consistency.
listening to your inner voice.
Yeah. Have faith in
Everything
yourself.
is being summed up, I think, so right here.
Yeah.
Whatever we talked about, everything is
Yeah.
collectively manifesting a great castle and throne which people can live in, where people can thrive, where people can look up to each other and inflict some positive force in this world so that they can act as the steers for each other's upliftment or the moving pattern where they want to be.
True leaders are those who promote others.
Indeed, they are. And they will always be exhausted, and so does RV.
Yeah. And this is also the intention behind this pod. That true leaders always promote others, and we are here promoting you out there. And I would also like to have some closing words from Mr. Abhinav.
Yeah.
This was the topic. Please provide some insight. Closing words.
As you both have covered everything, I don't have any closing words, but still, I'll say, call. I have to do it.
Yeah, with full enthusiasm, please.
Yeah, full enthusiasm. Sure. So, be true to yourself. Don't be don't be a fake person in this realm. And like some of the people will I'll advertise myself, but deep down they know I have nothing in my pockets, I have nothing in my plate, I have nothing in my bucket. But if you have nothing in your bucket, please show that only. Don't be don't mirror yourself, or don't
Fake advertising.
fake advertisement or something. खुद को fake मत show करो कि यार we are good enough in everything. अगर तुम्हारे पास नहीं है वो चीज,
And he is very quite wise with his words, because prior to speaking this, what he said is, you can just go back and listen. He said, I have not enough to speak. But then also he accepted that, and then he put in the work. means he is what he speaks, and that is what manifests the respect for him, because he did it regardless. Okay, and when he showed that his basket is empty and now he filled it, that holds more weight as compared to the filled basket that we carry,
Yeah.
because he filled it right then and there.
Yeah, indeed. He could have dodged the question, but he took the initiative. Okay, let's do it.
And that is what power is.
Kindly
Power of
continue.
acceptance.
Kindly continue.
पॉइंट बोला आ रही है पॉइंट कंटिन्यू कर रही हूँ बड़ी में जो फील करी कोई बात नहीं तो खुद को मतलब एक फेक एडवर्टाइजमेंट ना करें वर्क ऑन योरसेल्फ इफ यू नो योर बकेट इज एम्प्टी ट्राई टू फिल इट but not advertising like I have filled my bucket but try to fill it small baby steps take small baby steps by doing something unique in something innovative. Try to explore your things, explore your options, everything you have. Like, there are many options in your life here. If you are doing something, if you are doing editing, you have many options like tricolor grading, many things. So it's not like limited to your source or limited to your power. Try exploring your power.
Yeah.
In
Along
short,
the same
अगर
lines.
in short अगर मैं अपनी photography वाली scene में it's not every time you use your macro lens. Try sometimes and use your telescopic or wide angle lens. You'll get a greater view.
And even one thing, never fill your basket with the rotten eggs or the rotten food, which will just rot all of the food or all of the eggs which are present in your basket. Surround yourself with a pack, or surround yourself with the people who inflict power in you, not just suck out the power from you. And if you do the major part good, then you will impart so much power that you will be a endless, infinite source of power, which will just be good for you and the people.
And the point is said is not about food or not about things.
It is about life. It is the life
It is about persons, but मैं sarcasm डाल रहा था तू कर ले.
It is life psychology.
Now my closing words.
Yeah.
Even when determined, clouds can touch the earth in the form of tornado. So what is holding you back to climb the Everest?
So this is what power is. Be powerful, and this is what we truly thrive and wish for the all of individuals watching out there. And thank you everyone for seeing this long pod, and we appreciate your effort. And you are powerful, and you hold the power if you have this focus and power to stick beside this pod, this long pod. Imagine if you put this amount of consistency and power into your goals and yourself, where you will be. You will be sitting beside us. And we would love to have the people out there. Comment your will if you want to be here. We will love to have you here. That's what taking power as an initiative is. Thank you everyone, and do subscribe the channel, and just take the side with a lot